What's up, y'all? It's the build. We out here, man. Do a little bit of catching up today. Y'all know. We're gonna do a little bit of catching up, man. I've been gone for a while. but it's all good. We're gonna do a little bit of catching up with the community. How's everyone doing out there? What's going on? What's good, Rise Triple Eight? What's good with you? Real True, shout out to you, big brother. Jay Knight, what's good, man? You about to get up on this panel, man. I'm gonna set this up real quick. Man, yeah, I'm just chilling, man. Just post it up. I'm gonna set up this baby, how?
What is it?
I keep trying to get to the hangouts and that's all good. I'm gonna start on here. I'm gonna go ahead and open up a panel, man. Putting everything out there. Yep, but we've been sitting back. I've been chilling with a couple, Jared Bro Sanchez and stuff like that. Just cooling and whatever. Been on Sun and Moon and just been sitting back trying to really plan things out as far as like where I'm going to be going with the show. You know what I mean? So, just been taking notes and got a couple things I want to bring to the table, to the forefront today. Just give me a second, y'all. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, so there we go. Start this up. Big up. What's good?
Yo.
What's poppin', man? What's going down, man? Hey,
Good, man.
Peace, man.
What's up, man?
Hey,
catching up.
Gotta act like that.
It's been a while, but we back on. What's going on, fellas?
Oh, nothing much, man. Nothing much.
All
Giving
right.
Michael Edwards hell. Got to get my revenge for him hacking my account.
Someone hacked your account?
Michael Edwards hacked my account, man. Like 5-6 months ago. And then made a video and said, I hacked his account.
That's fucked up.
Yep. That's when I created my parody channel, I Am Michelle Edwards. Shocked them. They didn't even know that I even make some silly ass shit like that.
Yeah, they think you have a sense of humor?
Yeah, they didn't know because well, I mean, shit, they've been hearing me talk about all this stuff, never even really giggling or anything, so it caught everybody by surprise.
Yeah. Origin, what's up, man? How you doing? Origin 1, shout out to you. He's modded up on there. It's cool. We got Master Peace up in. What's up, Master?
How you doing? How's everybody doing? What's up?
Good.
So what's good, Jerry? Just chilling, baby. Just cooling. Just catching up with the community. I've been gone for a minute. I haven't really streamed for a while. So I figured, just catch up with everybody, see what's going on, have like a little bit of open discussion. I've been sitting back planning, trying to figure some things out, as far as like, where we're gonna go with the show. What's good, David?
Hello, David.
How y'all doing, fellas?
Chilling, man. So yeah.
What's good?
So yeah, man, just been cooling out, you know, just doing my thing and, you know, just getting some stuff together. Trying to plan forward for the show, get more topics staying at hand with the topics, you know what I mean?
Hey, I'll be
That's right.
cooking and shit, so I'll be up and down here, here and there.
Real talk. What's going on, buddy?
What's good? What'd you say?
And I was saying, well, I see real talk on here. I was asking, what's going on? How you doing? I hadn't spoken to him in a while.
Oh, real truth.
I'm sorry, real truth. I'm sorry.
I was bugging real quick. Man, it's all good.
Yeah, my bad.
Hey, yo, David, did you get my email, bro?
Excuse me, which email?
I sent you the email with my contact information. Yeah, the Jerry.
Jerry? Yeah, Jerry. I think I got it. I didn't even look off into it, but I believe it's in there. I'm gonna look at. Let me look at that now, man.
I heard you, by the way, David. I've been getting up and down, cooking and shit. So
Okay.
yeah, it's been cooling it though. Just been sitting around. Been sick as fuck the past couple of days.
Yeah, this weather got everybody going crazy, man. Got everybody getting sick and shit.
You can always tell when you're real sick when you end up sleeping 16 hours almost every day.
That's why it's important to be a vegetarian, man. Eat the veggies, man. It's, you know, especially around this time. This time of year.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So you know, I eat a lot of peppers. I eat a lot of peppers, green peppers.
Hey, that boricua right there.
Yeah, green peppers, orange peppers.
Sofrito.
Red peppers. Yeah, man. Eat all. That's all that's good for you. You know, cleans you out.
Dude.
You know.
I got it too, Jerry. Bad.
Okay, cool.
I have the content.
Okay, cool.
Appreciate that too.
Anytime. Like I said, I'm gonna get with him. You know, get with me. You know, we can actually try to start scheduling something, putting something together.
Yeah, studying something, man, because I want to start doing something. Because that sounds like something good.
Yeah, he got a lot of information, to soak in. I don't want him to just give it to me. That's the thing. I don't want him to just give me the information. I want him to show exactly, how to put this shit to
solar
work.
panels. Yeah, how to do solar panels and shit like that. Yeah, I want to know that.
Yeah, so somebody gave me an idea to actually do like a like once we get everything, so that we know what we're doing, like give a class, showing people actually how to do this shit, free of charge, of course.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I just heard that. Help people save that that bread and give less to that
To the establishment.
dirty ass government. Yep.
So it'll be a beautiful thing once everything gets going.
Yeah, it would.
My brother, he be fucking with them those sun panels too. So I'm gonna holler at him, see if he has any knowledge or anything like a company that's fresh, that'd be willing to, give them out at a low price or something.
Something better.
Shit, or even how to make them.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. How to make.
Yeah, I think as far as making them, but getting it to where you don't have to tie into the grid, that's already like your electricity company, whoever your service provider is, you don't have to tap into that, so we can be off the grid and
Completely, I forget now.
Yeah.
Every bit of energy that's we're getting is going into batteries rather than going into the grid.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can save money by tapping into the grid and giving back, but it's still not. It's still benefiting them. So
Yeah, it's not as beneficial for the individual as it is for the the said companies that run every city, you know, in the nation.
yep.
So like I said, it'll be a real good thing.
All right, guys. So I want to stick. I got a couple topics today, and I want to deal with some stuff. I want to deal with the equator. I want to deal with space. Talk about the ISS being fake. There's a lot of people been talking about that lately. Also, I got a couple of theories of mine I want to go over with you guys. And also, David, do you mind muting your mic for me, brother? I can't even see.
I can hear you.
I gotta get these controls. This controls popping, man. But yeah, we're gonna go over. A lot of stuff, man. The synchronized meditation. We're gonna go over the alien invasion. We was talking about that earlier. We're gonna go over that again. I want to also go over a lot of flat Earth tests. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of research that people have done on their own, a lot of observation, test work. We're gonna go over that. Yeah, man. Let's build. So let's build on this equator, man. Let's talk about it. Let me hit it. Let's see if me hit is there. All right, so basically with the equator, man, I know there's a lot of things going on with the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere as far as like different tests that you can do to go ahead and try to debunk the flat Earth. And one of the tests that you can do is the egg test. Is anyone familiar with that? You can stand an egg on the middle of the equator, like on the line of the equator. Is anyone familiar with that test?
Yeah, I saw him do that the other day.
Okay. And what was your take on it?
Oh, they say you can do it anywhere,
Yeah.
not just on the equator.
Oh yeah, and that's a fact. We was going ahead. Yeah, you actually was with us when we was doing that research, right?
I think I was on there with y'all.
Yeah. We just couldn't air that, but yeah. So yeah, man, that's one of the tests that has been debunked. Also, there's another test that they have. I think it's I forget the name of the test, but basically what the test does is it's an indicator, and basically water's supposed to flow opposite direction in the southern hemisphere rather than the northern hemisphere, clockwise, anti-clockwise, or counterclockwise. Truth is about that is when they do these tests, they walk maybe 30 or 40 meters away from the line for each hemisphere. And they say that in order for this test to truly work, you would have to be much, much further away. You would have to be much, much further away from the equator, and you would have to wait days for the water to be still for the test to even be accurate. So all the tests that you see out there on the internet is basically could be thrown in the garbage. Even the ones that debunk globe Earth could be thrown in the garbage because, like the scientists say, you can't even do it. You have to do it in a room that is like basically there's nothing in it, no extra air, the water has to be so undisturbed, and it has to be in such a still position for so long, over 24 hours, they say, for this test to even begin. So, there's a lot of things going on right now that, are trying to, debunk this, debunk that. So what we're going to do is we want to deal with that. We want to deal with all these tests that they have out there. Let's see if there's another one. There was one that was like a magic trick with cards, like a dude they put cards in the middle of the equator and just lifted up the cards with his hand. That was stupid. I'm just reading the chat. Hold on. 24 hertz or hours? I'm not sure what you're trying to explain. Hold on. Most slow. 25 hertz water will flow straight down. 23 hertz water will flow upward. And 24 hertz will stay even. So are you saying that that's like something that they can do? They can manipulate it just by changing the hertz? Most slow? I don't know if that's what you're trying to say. But if so, that's pretty cool. Shout out to Paris Posey. What up, Paris Posey? I'm going to go ahead and give you a wrench. Frequency on Sun and Moon group yesterday on that. Oh, yeah? Hey, yo, what's up, man? Come on over here. What's your email, Mo? You drop your email in the chat there for me. Peace out, Masterpiece. Just waiting for that. Oh, there you go. You come back. There you go. Is this thing on? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. All right, yeah, I'm trying to get Mo Swole on here because he's talking about something cool, man. He said, I think it was Aries that mentioned that, not me. I'm just ear hustling to get some gems. Oh, all right. Nah, I'm just, hey, man, everybody's opinion, everybody counts, man. So I'm trying to understand it too. You know what I mean? I don't know, because the dude, like, one of these tests, right? It was like some dude, he was in Kenya. He had it was like a yellow machine type of thing that he was using to catch the water when the water drained down. I don't know if maybe he was using that technology you're talking about right there, because I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Listen, they calling me crazy. Corruption shit got me pissed. Damn.
One thing I'll say, equator to me is they show us that the warmest part of the Earth is along the equator.
Hello.
Across the equator, if you know what I mean. It shouldn't be, because when you go check out like AF to see where the Earth's weather, they'll show you that the band of heat is right around that red line, the equator, but that doesn't make sense to me, at least.
Yeah, and what also doesn't make sense to me either, Masterpiece, is like, you know how they took the tennis ball, and when they poured it, they drenched it with water and they spin the ball and they slowed it down in the picture, all the water collected in the middle of the ball and it expanded out from the middle of the ball though. So
right,
if you're thinking about a spinning ball, I mean, if the force of that spinning ball, let's say it's going like, I don't know, how many revolutions per minute, I don't know how fast it will go. Like say somebody can throw a speeding fastball like 96 miles per hour. So let's say this thing's going like 96 miles per hour, right? That's enough force for it, obviously, for the water on that object to collect at the middle of the ball, right? So if the globe is spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, or what was that, like 1,024 miles per hour, something like that? I'm gonna go find out.
Around there.
Yeah.
It's something around there, right?
Yeah, 1,048, 1,040, somewhere.
Something like that, right? So if that's spinning that way, obviously, that's enough force to bring all the waters of the globe, quote unquote, to the middle for it to expand out. You know what I mean? And so I just don't see that happening. When you got over 30, I think it's like 13 or 30 or 15 to 30 countries on the equator line, you know, including Kenya. So it's like, how is that even possible on a globe model if it's supposed to be spinning? And you know what I mean? They say gravity keeps the water in and all that shit, but still, we're still spinning. So the water would still, yeah, it would stay here if gravity was here, but wouldn't the water still collect in the middle? Like, and there would be no land. All the land would be like, there would just be like, it would just be like one big ass river, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it would be like, you'd see continents like on the top and the bottom, and maybe you'd see like Everest poking out, or maybe you'd see like, there's parts of the Rocky Mountains poking out, or Mount Kenya or something poking out. But the thing is that they say is that the gravity is spread out evenly, it's distributed evenly, because remember, it's not only the spin that we got to take into consideration, it's the throw, right? You're comparing it to baseball. So if you throw a baseball and it spins as it's moving towards the bat, then that means that, if you wet a ball and you threw it, there'll be a trail of water. So that means that every night, okay, so keep that fact in mind, that there should be water trailing behind it, like this planet, and keep in mind the fact that the water should be collecting in the middle where the gravitational force is strongest. This would mean that there would need to be more gravity applied equator and to the backwards, the back of the globe, because we're spinning around and we're moving. So that means every night we should feel more gravity, intenser, to keep the water that should be like, trailing, like the baseball example, to keep that water in, and there'd be more gravity needed to keep it in at the equator. That's why they say that when you get off the plane from Canada to Jamaica, you should be like, slammed to the floor. And if you go from Jamaica to Ecuador, it should be even stronger at the equator. But that's just not the case, and it should be stronger every single night.
And also with that, and it should be stronger every single night. I mean, eventually, it's been so many years. Like you say about talk about how, like, the water is trailing, right? How is it that we're traveling and water should be trailing, but we still have, like, the water is always there, like it's never decreasing the amount. You know what I'm saying? Of water.
Yeah. There's no seal. There's no seal out there from keeping the space from taking our atmosphere away. And sometimes you can go to a lake and it's just perfectly still, or a pond, and it's just perfectly still. It's not rising and falling to the moon's supposed, influence. There's no lunar influence on our tides. And so yeah, there's a whole bunch wrong when you look at it, man. But it opens you up once you do your research and you look into it. It opens you up to many other possibilities.
Yeah. One thing with the equator, another thing with the equator, what was it? I think it was a point I was trying to make with the equator earlier to wrap it up about the equator. There's two lines. There's a on a ball. Sometimes there's two equators, right? Like, because on one map, if you look up the equator, I see two lines. It's like a northern and a southern part. I don't know how there could be two equators. Watch. Like this one right here. I'm gonna show you. Oh, go hang up. Share screen. Peep it.
Why is it so quiet? What's going on?
No, I'm trying to show you the this map. You see right here, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see how it has the 23.5 north equator line, then it has the 30 equator 0 point equator line, and the 23.5 equator line. What the prime meridian? Okay, Tropic of Cancer. That's what that is. Tropic of Capricorn.
Yeah. The Cancer and Capricorn. That's the furthest extent of the sun north, and the furthest extent of the sun south.
Due
So
to
that's
that tilt.
Uh, yeah,
What
they
they
say
say.
due to the tilt, we're kind of zigzagging. The sun's reflection, I guess you'd say, is zigzagging around that in like kind of like a sine wave pattern. It'll be like a wave. It'll start in Aries, and then it'll move all the way through to Pisces. The Cancer and the Capricorn, it's actually it's called that because when it hits that, it correlates to the stars. But really, when we look at the flat Earth model, how it just moves in tighter and out further,
Now,
that's all you really need to explain that movement. But then now there's people saying that the AE projection map is wrong and it was given to us as a psyop, and the shape of it, and I'm so tired of hearing everybody argue all the time. It's like we haven't even gotten the chance to get the resources together to launch something track continents and to see their placement, and they want to already just start arguing. It's shameful, man. It sucks.
Yeah.
well, whether it's this is gonna dive into one of the subjects that I wanted to get into earlier, so I'm just gonna go right into it. I wanted to get into this a little bit later, but since we're talking about it, might as well talk about it now. Now, we're all familiar with the flat Earth theory, right? And that's cool, but we just forgot about one thing. And the thing that we forgot about is water has to rest on a surface, but the surface is not flat. The surface is concave. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, what if we do live on a plane, but we live at the top or one of the top of a wavelength like structure, but not in the typical wavelength that you would think. Now, this wavelength is obviously going to be very, very structured, very, very complex, right? Like you see right here. You guys watching this? Now, I was thinking about this the other day. Now, there's a medium here with these wavelengths, right? Let me see. Click on this picture right here. And here was the medium, right? This would be where we live, right? And underneath are the waters below, and here are the waters above. Waters above will be around here, but we're still living in this in here. Here's your dome.
That's why they say we live in sin, living in sin.
Oh shit! What's good, Josh? What's up, man?
How's it going, brother?
So now everyone's stuck on the AE map, right? And yeah, what if it was built in for a psyop to hide this shit right here? Now, when you think about wavelengths, you think about nature, because that's how we describe sound, it's how we describe light and wavelengths. You know what I'm saying? So, could it be like, and I gotta draw this shit out. There's no type, I looked it up, there's no model for it. There is no model for it. So I would literally have to draw this. But this is the best thing that I can come up with for your imagination. But imagine across this, oh shit, I got touchscreen. Damn. I'm over here touching. Imagine right here, right, is where you live, right? This is where we live, right in here. And underneath, right, see this little shit right here? That would represent like waters underneath, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to conceptualize because you can't see the visual. But imagine build like, you know, all types of mountains and all types of shit inside over here. You know what I'm saying? And have whole types of civilizations, but it's going on in like an infinite stretch, you know, it's on a linear path where it's like, okay, like even like just look at mountains, the path of mountains, how mountains are, even mountains look like wavelengths. What if it's like that, but just on a larger scale? You know what I'm trying to say? Because it's not flat. We don't live in a completely flat plane. We do not. There's no way, because water exists. Because with that water existing, meaning that land levels have to drop. So no, we don't live on a flat plane. We don't. We just don't. It's not flat. You know, we come to a point where you can't, you know, go up anymore, you know, but it's never just straight flat. There's flat surfaces, flat planes that go for flat. But when it's all said and done, the whole body, the whole plane is not flat. You know? So we gotta like try to come up with like we're over here looking at the AE map, and it's true, man. Like, we can't front. We don't know whether the Earth is like completely flat or not, but we do know that oceans exist, and you could dive miles and miles deep into the ocean. So if that ocean wasn't there, would you still say the world was flat because the ocean's level with the land you live on?
I just always grouped them as the same. Like, the waters don't wrap around on itself; it extends out, and without the water, we wouldn't be able to live off the land. And so, when they say Earth, I'm thinking the oceans and the land.
Right, but think about it. Wait, before you think about, you know, water, you have to have the land first. It's got to be, you know what I mean? You got to have the land put down first before you have the water. You know what I'm saying? I'm not questioning you or challenging you, but I'm just getting us to think about this.
But why does it have to be first?
Well, because it has to be first, because how else is it? Because then that would mean we'd be all water. We'd be just living underwater. There would be no land.
Are there's sediments and minerals in the water, but there's not water in the rock.
But there is sometimes. But I see what you're saying.
Like the sediment could have calmed from the waters. Remember, we talk about primordial waters and stuff like that. Not to say that that's the ocean, but and I don't know which one came first. I'm just challenging the fact that you said, you know, it definitely had to come first, because, you know, if it was the waters first and everything settled down into the earth,
then where did all the water go?
Plausible.
I think you know, I think what James is probably illustrating is, like, let's say for a pool, you can't have water in the pool without the pool being there first. You know, somebody had to put something in there to hold the water in.
Right, but
almost
that
like it was splashed upon it, you know, and then it's all rushing to maintain its level.
Right.
All right, but the thing is, we as us and everything around us, including the plants and everything, is mostly water.
Man, how I get my motherfucking phone back to do this? I don't want this shit to be no half spoon.
But like you said, like the water is all enclosed within us. You know what I mean? So the land is outside. You know what I mean? The water is inside of us. You know, just like if we look at the earth, the water is out, the land is outside, but the water is on top and within. Because sometimes you gotta dig a hole to get to water.
So my thing is this: what if, like, okay, like we go with flat Earth because yeah, we know about horizons. Yeah, we know, like, okay, we know about, like, with religion, they give you a little bit of truth, but they don't give you the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So what if, like, with the Earth models, they did the same thing, and it's been like this for a long time. So the only reason why I propose a wavelength model, and because it supports the extra continents also. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is this is touching closely to what Brother Sanchez's teaches, and how the ripple effect, if you were to take those ripples and lay it on its side, it would be the exact wavelengths as he showed. Or if you took the wavelengths that you showed and you schematically, like, place them out, like, in a 360-degree fashion, then those back on each other, kind of like a record. And then yeah, I can see what you're saying. Like, it goes up and down and up and down. Would you say that? Would you say that when it goes up like that over the dotted line, that's where, like, the dome is, or are you saying that represents, like, is that just the land, or?
I'm saying that it could represent a dome, but it could also represent the land. You know what I'm saying? But the land and the dome could be totally separate entities. Like, the dome was like, okay, the the magnitude of what I'm speaking on is totally, like, it's bigger than the Pangea, like, continents, you know what I'm saying? Or even the 12 continents, the extra continents that they speak on. Like, when I'm thinking about a wavelength, right? I'm thinking, like, let's just say the top of the wavelength would be the waters. The top of the wavelength would be above the waters, right? And that could stretch for, I couldn't even tell you how many miles, but basically, like, as far as the AE map itself, you know what I'm saying? Maybe even further than that. But there's, within this layer, or portion, before it drops or that wavelength starts to decrease, there is what we call the dome structure, and was, like, created by somebody else. I don't know if it's a natural structure, like this whole, where we are living in right now, the whole concave idea. I don't know if it's something natural, if they built. Seems to me like it was built. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it's something that was just naturally occurred. You know what I mean? Because you don't see that happen on a microscopic level. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that you can put on a major scale, you can put it on a minor scale. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, like, the Earth isn't completely. Hold up. Oh, what up, Justin? Can you mute your mic for me?
Baby.
Mute your mic for me, brother.
Good to hear from you, man. Glad to see you back, baby.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate you. Yeah. I'm back.
Got more for a minute.
I just had to get my stuff right. I had, you know what I mean, some stuff to do,
okay,
but I dealt with it. It's out the way now, so we Gucci.
Okay. That's what it is, man.
So
what's up, everybody, man? What's up, everybody? I ain't trying to interrupt y'all. I'm just speaking to everybody, man. I ain't talked to nobody in a minute. Flat Earth, Jerry, Masterpiece, Nia, David. What's going on, man?
Peace, brother.
What's up?
Yeah, man. Just nice to see y'all again, man. I got kind of lonely, man. Y'all became my friends, man. Y'all don't become my friends now.
How's what's up, man?
Hey, no doubt.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So with this wavelength idea, man, like I said, it's just an idea to stray away from what is given to us. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll be quite honest with you. We dig and we dig and we dig, and the more I find, the more digging we doing, the more arguing we're doing. Like you said, Masterpiece, you're sick of the debate and all that stuff, you know, and I'm right there with you. This is the reason why we created this page together, you know what I mean? So that we can build. Now, if we can try to stray away from the ideas that's given to us, like people say, oh yeah, you know, that's just another psyop. Well, all right, cool. Well, let's try to figure something out, conceptualize something that works out for us. And I'm not saying that this idea needs to be the idea that's on the forefront. All I'm saying is that we need to start thinking about different ideas. We need to stop, you know, trying to, like you said, you want to get people to get a balloon, float up from a different part of the land or different part of the plane to see what's really going on. And those are the type of experiments that people should be doing right now, you know, with each other. And I think that's very powerful, you know. So like I said, I can't come up with any conclusions of my own. Just like I can't come up with a conclusion to say that the earth is completely flat, you know, or we live in a flat plane, or the AE map is the map. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I know is what I see, you know what I'm saying, and what I can observe. What I'm saying is that if we're giving bullshit anyway, we might as well try to come up with something that makes more sense to us. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's going to eventually be bullshit. You know, at least it's going to be something that's a lot more real to us than it is to believe in something that's just given to us and just tell, hey, you know what, this is the best possible, you know, outcome, or the best possible, you know, display of what could be. Here, take it and run with it. No, you can't do that, because it's not, you didn't see it with your own eyes. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me being 100% with y'all right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we go on Google and we fact checked each other and we go go back and forth, but that's exactly what they want us to do. You know what I'm saying? We're not coming up with different ideas. We're not coming up with no originality. We're not coming up with, you know, different ways to put the truth out there. All we're doing is fucking yanking each other's dicks. You know what I'm saying? Basically, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, it's good too, because like, see, it's a double entendre, because like, for the people who only learn through debates, for the people who only learn through you know, fighting with somebody or having some type of altercation or problem to solve, then yeah, all right, that's fine, man. But like, we're never really gonna get anywhere close to the truth if we just continue to do that. We got to sit there and try to come up with our own observations. There's people out there doing their own observations right now, you know what I'm saying, that we could really get into. You know what I'm saying? Dive deep into that. Into some people who's like the other day, they was trying to find some flat Earth debunk videos, and each and every one of those flat Earth debunk videos had some dude with some fancy ass accent behind him and some really cool camera work. You know what I'm saying? It's all about jazzing it up and making it look good. That's why they had the cathedrals back in the ancient days and shit, when they tried to get people to join the churches, get the masses to believe in the church. You know, they made everything very beautiful, elegant. You know, it captured your eye. You know what I mean? So that's what they try to do when they want to go debunk the flat Earth. You know, they want to have things all nice and elaborate, nice and so. Even if you got something like that, when it comes to flat Earth, you know, 9 times out of 10, you probably don't want to believe it either. You know, and that's just some real shit. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why I even bring forth this idea is not to get people to be like, hey, yeah, we live in a wavelength model. No, it's just, hey, let's come up, let's think about some different, let's come up with some different models here. Let's come up with some different possibilities. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like going to Bro Sanchez. Like you said, Bro Sanchez with the ripple effect and how everything came from Mount Meru. That's just his belief, you know, and that's a good. What he did was he took all his research and drew a picture and, you know, just spelled out what showed what made sense to him. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's what everybody should be doing, including globe earthers. You know what I'm saying? People who are spectacle. I mean, like you anybody who sits there and says that, yeah, the Earth's a globe, but they believe that you know, the government lies to us and they fuck us over, they automatically shoot themselves in the foot. You know what I'm saying? And to be real with you, you know, we know that based off observation, that gyroscope is based on a horizon, and it's totally mechanical. Pilots use it all the time to fly. Many other research that points towards the plane being a flat surface. You know what I mean? So automatically we're gonna say, yep, flat Earth map, that's the one. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only other option, really. You know what I'm saying? It's either a globe Earth or it's a flat Earth. You know what I'm saying? Or it's a horror or whatever the hell the others say. I forget a lot. What is it? The horoscope, not the horoscope. Fuck, man. Help me out, guys. Goddamn it. I got 8 people on here. You motherfuckers can't help me out.
The Zodiac.
Huh?
Hold up.
The H word, nigga. Come on, man. Damn.
Horizontal.
Nah, not horizontal. The something Earth. Holographic. There it is. Holographic Earth. There's some people say it's totally holographic.
The other one is medium.
Medium.
That's what Tesla made the statement of. That was one of the statements in one of his quotes, that we live in an environing medium based upon electromagnetics.
And that's what that's more of the way I imagine it. I imagine this a state of existence. Like I imagine everything is here, you know, but what we are programmed to experience is built for this. It's built for this type of vibration within this realm, and you know, everywhere is full. You know, the air is full, a brick is full, water is full. There's no emptiness anywhere, and people see people like ghosts and like, you know, like spirits and like just holograms of people. You know what I mean? All those stories. So I feel like we are just on a slightly different dial of frequency, living parallel right next to countless other realities happening right here, realms medium.
So in that case, do you think that in relation to the dress being either gold or blue, you remember that thing that was viral? It was like a picture of a dress that some people saw blue, some people saw gold.
Yeah.
Do you think that the perception of the Earth could kind of like fall in the same category as that? Like, is that why people believe so strongly in either the globe or the flat Earth model, or is it straight indoctrination? Because if you want to live on a medium, then basically you can.
I don't know who you're asking, but I'll just say, I don't think so. Simply because that's just color optics. You know, you put a certain color on the screen. Some people can see it. Like my friend, I went to art college. I brought home a homework assignment, and it happened to be a test to see if you're colorblind or not. We were in college, and he just found out that he was see some shit. So in that sense, just playing with the optics with the gold dress or a purple dress, that's like, you know. But in thinking like, okay, if we thought it was a globe, because I thought about this, if we think it's a globe for, you know, over 500 years, say, it, you know, does that reality? Well, no, because, you know, you could think it's a globe, you could think there's gravity, but there's just not.
Right.
If there's another reality where this Earth is a globe, I mean, I would have to hear a serious explanation for that, because going with that, there'd be so much like how we go around the sun and the different planets and all this other stuff. So,
well, because
I just think it's yeah.
Oh, you just think it's what? I'm sorry, bro.
I really do think it is a psyop. I think it's a brainwashing thing that's been that was brought in with
The
the
AE
New World
map.
Order. I think
The AE map, right? Is that what you're talking about?
yeah,
The globe.
the AE map. Oh, the map itself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say because I mean, like I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I'm leaning towards that being what the lay of the land looks like. But it's just now that there's discrepancies, you know, I'm having second thoughts. But so many things work. Like when I had that flight, you know, when I stopped in Ireland, you know what I mean? And you guys all know that. Like that matched perfectly with the AE projection, and I've never seen it on any other map. And same with a lot of other flights. So that's just, you know, that's just one way to look at it.
Right.
I've seen it in presidential offices. You know, the pictures. You know, JFK's had it in his background. Is it Photoshop? I don't know. But you know, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the I don't know where my coaster went.
It's okay.
But the thing with the AE map is, yeah, it was given to us, you know, by anonymously, you know, some major, you know, high powered entity or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, if there is some truth in it. You know, there is some type of truth. Maybe not be the whole truth, but there is some type of truth. Now, with the whole being a psyop thing, I could see it being possible. Only reason why is because they use it, you know, in government offices and, you know, in the UN and all this shit. Like, and the reason why I say that is because they already knew you was going to be looking into them and you know, getting deep into who they are, what they're about. So it could be something to just another thing that like mislead you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I just
Definitely.
It's just
definitely possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like, I can't fully accept the fact that, you know, it comes from a source that is given to the masses on a, like, we're being spoon fed this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just think that, like, to totally accept something for what it is without questioning it, and then for them to be mocking you at the same time without keeping it a total secret. Maybe they just want you to be like, look, see, they're using it. They're using the map. See, so it has to be it. That's it. They're using it. You know, I mean, they know what they're doing. They're putting that out there for millions of people to see. You know?
Yeah, see, because in the first instance, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, maybe, you know, they didn't expect all these pictures, you know, 50, 60 years later, 70 years later, to be, like, you know, floating around on the internet. They didn't even, you know, I don't know. I was thinking, because if they have it in their government offices, you know, did they even really expect that would be on Google and Twitter and shit like that? But then again, when I look, the fact that if we had a map for this flat plane, and then they took that map and they made it into a globe, that would mean that they're cutting off shit, like they're cutting out certain lands. And for us to just simply take the globe, the equidistant azimuthal projection, if we just take that of the globe and then make it flat, well, then what you're doing is you're taking a flat Earth map and subtracting, say, to make a globe, and then you're gonna stretch that globe out back into a flat piece of paper, which means you have to again take out more land or add land. And they definitely didn't add land, so what they did was they took it away. I don't know if you're keeping up with this, but basically there's a big argument right now that says like Jake, flat Earth asshole. It says that we're missing water. Like we're missing waters because they've taken a flat piece and they've put it into a ball, made it out flat again. There's like many oceans that are just missing. What do you guys think of that?
I think that the circle or the circumference is bullshit. Like the shape, like they say, okay, we're surrounded in a dome. What if the dome wasn't really a fucking dome, and it wasn't really the shape that they say it is? What if it's like it's long, and it's like it's like a arch kind of, right? But it's like linear, and it's long as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like
kind of like a green.
Yeah, like on there.
Like a you ever see like a long panel light? Like the old ones?
Yeah.
So like what if it's like
that.
that? You know what I'm saying? What if it's not even circular? You know what I'm saying? They just trying to, and that's the reason why we're missing water and we're missing land and shit. You know?
Speculation too with that, you know, see, when I was on Dread a few weeks ago, he was pulling up different maps and stuff like that. I think they intentionally changed these maps over time, you know, as far as, you know, making it round, making it circular, you know, just to keep having more barriers. You know, I think the barriers came a long time when people started figuring out that, you know, hey, this is endless and we got to keep this thing under wraps. So I think they really push to keep people enclosed in an imaginary system, you know, and that's the only way that shit can keep going, you know. So I don't know as far as the maps. I think all the maps are a creation of some sort of someone's imagination. But you know, and the earlier maps were most likely the closest depictions we have, and it's probably a puzzle that we can piece these different maps together and find these missing oceans, you know?
Like,
yeah, that's totally plausible. And I was thinking, like, to add on to that, what if nobody knows? What if nobody knows the shape?
Yeah.
And every map that was put out was just their best guess.
Oh shit, yo! What if maps are only?
Exactly.
What if maps aren't even what they seem? What if the shapes of the continents aren't even real? They're just put out there to make you believe that you live on something called a fucking globe, or you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's it. That's the only reason for the map. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if they, you know, they can take these illustrations that they create, you know, and like you said, you come and you do this to a child when he's, you know, his mind is fresh, his or her mind is fresh and malleable, you know, and you can form it the way you want to, you know. So in our minds, all these, you know, like these people at these different centuries, you know, this is an old game. So these people could have been doing this shit. Well, I'm not gonna say could. I'm gonna go as far as to say they have been doing this thing for a long time, and they have to change with the. It's like a program. You have to update the program in order to keep the system working. You know, so that's what I think they're doing. I think they're just keeping re-updating the program so that people can have a sense of enclosement, you know.
Yeah. Now think of it like that's like on a corruption level of what they give to us. But let's think about the aristocracies and the royal families, like really warring about. You know what I mean? Like, do they really not know the shape of this place? You know what I mean? Like, is it the nation with the most complete map dominates? You know what I mean? If we think about way back in the day, and you have a nation, and you mapped out your country and surrounding countries, and then, you know, a royal army moves in to take over, and you find that they have like 3 continents mapped out. You're like, holy shit, they've been. But then, you know, then you have Alexander who's mapped out Asia, and they come and take over lesser people that don't have the map. You know what I mean? It's like a map game. Like, who can puzzle it together the fastest and dominate. You know, I don't know.
Well, what if they faked it, right? Just like there was like the ancient moon. It was the ancient fake, like ancient moon landings, faking the moon landings. Just in the ancient way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, even those ancient maps, those aren't even originals. You know. Hey, I got to question even the Buddha map from 1,000 years ago. In 2006, I was like, you know, what's this?
Yeah,
like, how did they know this?
I do question it. Like, it's funny how all this information is coming out, and you know, why are the continents so nice and crisp? And you know, what is it written on? What is that map written on? You know, is it before papyrus? Like, I have so many questions about it.
Not only that, like, how the hell did they get the aerial view?
That's right. That's right.
Like the only thing I would attribute to that is, you know, they're Tibetans. These guys like must astral project, and they meditate out in the winter all night on the mountains and don't freeze. You know what I mean? So maybe they've been that high form of themselves, but again, the questions still remain. You know what I mean? Why is this just surfacing now? You know, what nations have had this? Have they been using this all along? It's crazy.
You know, another thing to think about. See, I've traveled in 3 different directions coming out of California. I've traveled through the southern route, going all the way to Arkansas, cutting through all that. I've gone as far as Utah. I've gone up north as far as Oregon. The more and more I go east to the east, it's like the level, it goes from sea level and it rises up and it goes down a little and it just keeps rising and it never goes back down. So there's a lot of stuff about this continent that we need to look into, and about the oceans. See, when water flows in ponds, it has to consistently flow. But when it's not flowing, it seeps into the dirt. It goes into the earth. It goes right back into the earth. So how is the ocean into the earth? How is this ocean set up to where the water is consistently staying level? I mean, the whole thing of water seeking level, that means that everything underneath is holding it perfectly. And there's no way our ocean ground can just hold that water like that. So it's something that definitely got to look into.
Another thing, man, I wonder is, how did they separate the oceans? Like, this is the Indian Ocean, this is the Atlantic, this is the Pacific. You know, how did they even, where do you draw a line at? Like the county line. You know how you got the county line, state line. I guess it's like that with the ocean too. Where down, well, how far do you travel? You know, it's Pacific Ocean. Well, now I'm in the Indian Ocean. Well, now I mean, where do they lines come in with that?
Hey, exactly.
I don't know. I guess that's more of like a political move. You know, taking over and naming it this and that. What the brother said was about the oceans going into the land. I equate that to, you know, if you were in a bathtub, it would get into your ears and your canals, but as soon as it's full up, like as soon as all the underwater rivers and lakes are full up, then it's just, you know, constantly staying at this level. But what do you guys think about what they tell us about the ocean's level rising around the continents? Like, do you guys believe that? Like, are the waters getting higher? You know, are the ice caps melting? Is it actually happening? Do you guys experience that?
Well, where I'm from, I haven't seen anything rise. I live in the East
me
Coast.
neither. I'm by the coast, and I don't see no rising. If anything, the water has receded a little bit from the
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that because they're saying, you know, shit's melting and everything's rising, you know, inch by inch every year. And I go to places and you're seeing more exposed rock and seaweed than you've ever seen. So it's like, you know, contradiction.
Yeah, we know they give the reversible truth. So, I mean, like with these like this cold weather, for instance, like over here, like we didn't know it was gonna get cold till like about a day before. Like nobody had time to prepare. You know, just like that's how we know they be faking a lot of shit. Like the so-called the Tesla spaceship that so say took off. They went go do a test or whatever. It wasn't announced. And I with the SpaceX or whatever the hell, that wasn't announced. You know, the things that they do, you know, to try to show us that they're doing something, they announce it all the time. Hey, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. But when it comes down to the weather and certain anomalies that they can't really predict, they try to put their own overshadow over it to say, hey, look, this is what it is. Like the little so-called meteor. Hey, look, check this out. Check this out. The so-called mirage over the Chicago skyline. Hey, this is what it is. You know, so they got to give their own outlook on it so that the people can, you know, accept it readily. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What y'all think about the tectonic plates when it comes to the land? You think it's any kind of
cut out?
Say that again.
He said something about the. Oh, yeah, I can't hear me.
I think he
He
dropped
said.
out.
He said, "What y'all think about the tectonic plates?" Something about the tectonic plates.
Yeah, I
No.
think that's a lie. I think that's just to explain how we get the mountains, how they push together. Otherwise, you don't really need tectonic plates at all.
I looked into the rift valleys too. You know, the rifts that go around the but they're not go around. My bad. These so-called rifts, supposable land spread and separated. So Kenya and Ethiopia is split.
So, what do you guys think cause earthquakes?
I think that's just the land beneath like changing, growing. I think it's very hot underneath, and I think that whatever the lava is, it's constantly flowing and changing the shape. It's like cracking and just like anything else would under different temperatures.
So, would that fall under the category of a tectonic plate, or I don't know?
No. A tectonic plate is say you had a mud ball and then you cracked it, right? You cracked a cement ball and then you have all these cracks and they happen to take on the shape of the continents, and then the acid water that fell from the heat coming out of the earth, that slowly collected between the cracks and created our oceans. And those cracks are still getting moving around. They're saying that they're moving around these tectonic plates, but how is that possible when these land masses are supposed to be rooted onto the earth? It's the earth's crust. So
Right. I have no idea.
They're just sliding around I think tectonic plates are just there to explain mountains because they know that they're just ancient trees.
Here we go. This is what I'm trying to get at. Here we go. See, ancient trees. Ancient trees used to provide supposedly silicone, right? Am I saying it right? Silicone?
What, the silica-based trees?
Silica-based trees, yeah. Silica, yeah. That's what I was saying, silicone. Now, I was watching a video, right, on this, and it was amazing. And I just think that they had to cut down these ancient trees to create the dome, and I think these ancient trees still exist out there, but obviously we can't see them from here, you know what I'm saying? But I think that there's still ancient trees out there beyond this dome structured bullshit that we're in. And that's why I think, once again, that it's unnatural, because why the hell, will these things be cut down for? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I just think that in relation to trees and how tall they are right now, and with the roots that grow, imagine how tall these ancient trees was. They must have busted straight through the fucking firmament if it ever really did exist. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they would had to cut them down in the first place. And now I wanted to Master Peace. I'm right there with you, brother. I have to question things because that's the only way people will really try to understand, or really truly understand things. But I'm right there with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm so happy that you're on the fucking panel because you know what the hell I'm trying to get at. All right, so basically,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll say with the earthquakes. Go ahead with the earthquakes, bro, because I wanted you to get back tie into that. I just got excited and shit. But go ahead.
No, that's all I was really gonna say is that they were just trying to hide the nature of the mountains and trying to lie to us about what canyons are. When really this is, I mean, it's evident that our Earth, the section that we live, has been, stripped
Right.
of its resources. They say that we were silica based. We have percentage of silica still in our body, and but however these trees, I don't think that they would be tall enough to reach the firmament, though. I do believe that the sun is very, very high up there. The dome, I mean the North Pole, that's even higher up. So I would say possibly the the dome may have fell. Because we always hear about the sky is falling and the sky opened up and the flood and everything like that. So I don't know about if the height has always stayed the same, but as of right now, what they were saying about the height of the trees and then the height of compared to that to the sun, it wouldn't even reach the sun's height. But I do think that we did inhabit the trees. I don't think that we used to live on the ground. They always give us the double speak and they say that we were living in trees, and monkeys and whatever. I don't think we were monkeys, but I do think that we made homes in these trees. And I think that's why it's so appealing today for a child.
Tarzan stories.
Tarzan, yeah, I think that's why it's so appealing for a child to have a tree house. Every kid wants a tree house. I think that's just a remnants of what we used to be, tree dwellers with the fruits growing in. And who knows, we could have had a whole network of trees and we just walked the tree lines from branch to branch and just collected the fruits. And, I don't know. I don't know. Mysterious.
That sounds interesting, though. That's a really, 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 really good one right there. I like that, man. Because before buildings, before asphalt, before, what they want to call societies, it was just pure nature. And in pure nature, everything is mingling. And, we have all types of different, like you say, tree systems and stuff intermingling with each other. So I can imagine on a planet or plane where there's nothing touched. Everything is just where it is supposed to be. It's very, very possible that we would definitely living up in these trees, man. I think that is actually a really, really good theory because the ground was probably fucking dangerous. If there ever was real, remnants of dinosaurs or like, saber-toothed tigers or whatever, it would have been, that's what you do now. I mean, like when we go camping, you put yourself up on a hammock off the ground. You know what I mean? To keep away from all the bugs and shit like that, So that.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I can't even, I gotta say, man, I'm with you 100% on that one.
Well, I mean, it's just, we don't know it, but I mean, if we were living in trees at that altitude, that would mean that, we wouldn't have to struggle as much for oxygen. We would definitely be a lot lighter, having to live on the ground. I mean, maybe it was warfare. I mean, maybe we de-evolved.
Well, look at monkeys. I mean, like, it's just simple. Like, if monkeys can figure out, hey, if I live in the trees, I'll be much safer. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's not a hard concept to grasp. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what do you think about all animals? Used to be plant-based. Like, what do you think about animals eating? Like, what do you think about the Most High creating an animal to eat another one of its creations? Like, do you think that happened out of necessity because of what we did, or what happened to us from the strip mining of the earth?
Yeah, that's the question I've been pondering, because when you look at it, all animals are innately afraid of human beings besides the domesticated ones. So what my question is, and to take your question a step further, what caused the animals to have, besides us eating them,
A discord with the human beings, right?
I'm sorry?
What caused us to have a discord with nature and the animals, with human beings?
Well, I mean, you know how they say that we're not really using our third eye anymore, and animals are telepathic, and they say that we used to be telepathic. I think that was it. I think when we lost our ability to communicate through mind and body, subtle body movements, that's when they didn't trust us anymore, because they can't see us. Hey, Jarian, you got a lot of feedback coming in.
I'm sorry, my I was getting my headphones out of my shirt, but I'm clear.
It's like they don't see us anymore. You know, they know that we can't recognize them. You know, when they see us and they look at us, who knows? Maybe they're trying to tell us how they feel, but we can't do it anymore. Some people still can. They got that ability to above and beyond. But so what I want to say is that if it was an attack that was placed on us, you know, with the strip mining of the earth and the trees, did we have to come out of the trees and live on the ground, or did we ourselves come down out of the trees and live in this denser air? And if animals were vegan and everything was balanced, you know, they ate off the land, you know, because gorilla's fangs are just as long as a lion's fangs, and they use it to bust open coconuts and melons and stuff like that. So if that was the case, then I guess we wouldn't be living in the trees for safety per se, but I mean, definitely a way of health, being higher up, breathing the thinner air, getting more cosmic rays.
So what would be what would be the purpose of the ground then?
Well, the ground holds up the trees.
Right, but I'm saying, like, for the animals who live amongst the ground, like, is it important for them to be on the ground?
Well, I mean, animals climb the earth. I mean, their hooves stomp it down. There's animals that burrow in the ground, so this gives aeration to the soil. When they poo out the seeds, it's already sitting in a nice pile of fertilization, so that the seed definitely sprouts with some healthy nutrients around it, and that gives us oxygen. The grass, the plants, it gives us all oxygen, and it thrive. It feeds the oceans feed it. It's just, you know, it's not only our life that we have to be concerned about. The ground is the ground. The ocean is the ocean for their own means. You know, they're their own experiences.
Right. Okay. So would you say like the conditions on the ground for animals who cannot, say, climb trees, maybe their bodies are conditioned for living on the ground and it's perfect for them?
Well, everything is an expression of the one creator, you know. So there's a place for all things, even animals that maybe not around anymore. There's always an expression, you know. The dog buries the bones, you know what I mean. The vultures, they clean up anything because their stomach acid is very strong, you know. There's some reptiles that eat rocks to help break down the ligaments of the animals that they eat whole, you know what I mean. So there's so many weird, see deep in the ocean and even on the ground, you know, the platypus, you know what I mean. That's a weird looking animal, but there's a purpose. And not, you know, if we go extinct, I believe that the animals, of course, they will thrive and everything would return back to the way it is. But I mean, right now we're the biggest threat to nature. Humanity is the biggest threat to nature. Period.
My question is humanity a threat to nature? Or is society a threat to nature?
You know, I would say the orchestrated society, that we live in. How they've what I like to dub from Dr. Valentine is they've orchestrated the synchronicity. So basically, we say things are, oh, that's coincidence, or yeah, maybe I should buy that, or I should see this movie, and whatever. And that's all synchronized. That's all given to us by these game planners. And so, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not humanity in itself that is destroying the nature. It's the people who are synchronizing the orchestration that we all play by. And once they're gone, once their program is gone, then hopefully we'll be able to speak with the animals again, show compassion, and see everything as equal. The horse, the cow, the pig, they all have heartbeats, they all got blood, they all want to raise their young just like we do. And hopefully we'll return back to that state where we would never think about eating someone else.
I think that we were all meant to just take in light as energy, just this is much as the machines that do today, we can do the same thing. I mean, if we're electrical, why not? That's what I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, they say the sun is electrical and the moon is magnetic, and the woman, it's good for her to wear magnet stones, lodestones on her body, and for the male, it's good to wear gold because it's very good at conducting electricity. So yeah, everything is in a state of electromagnetism. The plasma is all around us, and if the sun's rays are electrical, the male, then we should be able to look at it, and that will directly affect our hormones, our glands, our organ production, and if we breathe in the air, which is full of cosmic particles and energy, if we're breathing it in through our nose and deep to our stomach, then that's like 90% of the nutrition that we need right there. The thing is that our bodies are so run down from addiction, from processed food and drugs and cigarettes and liquor and movies and the air and music. We're so some of us aren't comfortable in silence anymore. You know what I mean? If you took a silent retreat where you couldn't speak for a week, out in the hills or in the boonies somewhere, a lot of people leave those retreats on the second day. They just can't shut up for more than a week. So we definitely have to get back to our silence, because when we realize that we don't need all this food, then yeah, the sun and the water are great sustainers of our life, and the air.
Yeah, and I believe that is how everybody is to gather their energy throughout the day, by sun gazing and just bathing themselves in sunlight. Getting energy that way. That full feeling that you feel. Think about this, guys. Whenever you don't eat, right? Whenever you don't eat for a long time, what happens? Sometimes
The hunger pain.
Hunger pain, but what comes first before the hunger pain? The headache, right? You ever get a headache?
I didn't. When I fasted, I didn't get the headache.
Well,
I had a get headaches, period. But okay, but keep going. I see what you're saying.
You said you didn't
feeling though.
You didn't get a headache?
I just had an uncomfortable feeling just in my stomach.
Sometimes when I don't.
Yeah, I didn't get no headaches.
Sometimes when I don't eat, I get headaches.
Is it because you're not drinking as well?
Drinking what?
And what kind of water?
Yeah, I think headaches it comes along with dehydration. Like if you don't have enough water.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I drink distilled water.
It's so if you distilled water is good for taking the toxins out of your body, the heavy minerals out of your body, because the distilled water is it's looking for something to bond with. It's looking for free ranging molecular compounds to bond with. Like it'll take a calcium, a tin, it'll take a copper and a lead. But So that's great to do if you're like detoxing, doing enemas. If you do an enema, then it's great to do it with distilled water because it'll grab all those heavy metals out of your body. Whereas if you want to nourish the body, you definitely want like mineralized, like non-acid alkaline water. Pretty expensive to come by, but if you have a spring, you can Google like spring, like natural springs in your area, and there'll be just sometimes pipes coming out of the ground of just natural water.
Mm.
Yeah, I was
That's
just
what
about
we
to ask.
do.
I was just about to ask about that alkaline water. Was it any kind of truth or to that about alkaline? Since we're electrical beings, and the stuff they put in stores, is it fake? Is it real bottled alkaline water? Because I've been fucking with the little shit they sell at Walmart, the alkaline in the quart. It's the eternal water. I've been trying to fuck with that, but I can tell the difference in the water. It do got a better natural taste. I looked at a Facebook thing when they had the pH levels of the water and everything, how they had everything changing colors.
Yeah.
Ridiculous about it. It's ridiculous about the bottles of water and shit they be giving us and how it's some bullshit. Now, it's some spring waters out there, but I know half that, like Life Water, half that bullshit they sell, it's some bullshit water. They try to sell it for high, but it's some bullshit water they be giving us, like that Life Water, just finding all that shit there. I'm gonna try to goddamn find that shit and share it with y'all, man. Y'all probably done seen it with the pH level. They pour that shit in there, and the water the darker it turns, the better it is. Like it turns a dark purple, dark bluish color. It's some real good water.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know
Okay.
that.
So
Go ahead.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, I was just asking about the alkaline water. I was seeing y'all opinion on it. Do y'all see any difference in it? And I heard you talking about the field water, so I'm just trying to learn a little bit about the waters, you know.
Cool. So the thing about alkaline water is that there's alkaline water and then there's acid-free alkaline water. What does this mean? There are certain minerals that are acidic in nature, like the phosphorus and stuff like that. But then you have some things, and then you have some things that are alkaline, like calcium. Active, none of those alkaline in it. Just regular alkaline water means that there's just more of those alkaline materials in there as opposed to the acid ones. So you want to look for an acid-free alkaline water. But the thing is that once alkaline water is bottled or stored for over 3 days, it becomes lifeless. The energy runs out of it. So that's why it's best to have a water ionizer, which actually splits the water from the acidic material to the alkaline material, and you can buy one for like $2,000, and it will change your life. Like you might jump at that price, you know what I mean? To judge anybody's pocket, anybody can have any amount of money. I'm saving up for it because it'll change your life. I've seen video footage up people's colons of before and 2 or 3 months on this alkaline water, acid-free alkaline water, fresh from and day. I mean, before it's like and there's like weird and stuff, and then after it's bright pink. The food is moving well and it's nice and clean. So the alkaline water is complete. You want an ionizers.com. You can talk to me about it, and if you're serious about purchasing one, then I can hook it up because I became a distributor for like I've never seen a product like it. I'm just really, that's why the price tag is high, of course, because they're healthy and the poor, they get what they can get. But yeah, that should clear up that. And if you're looking into spring bottled water, it'll say like tapped at the source or bottled at the source. The reason why that's harmful is that the spring water is very hot, like Fiji water. It comes out at very hot water temperature, sometimes 90 degrees Celsius. And so what has to be done is it gets immediately poured into the plastic, and because it's hot water against the plastic, it leaches out the plastic materials into the water. So you never want to buy a spring water that's bottled at the source.
So you saying not to buy no kind of water from the store? Then basically every water is bottled up.
Yeah, basically, I mean, well, some are bottled up when it's cold, right? So it doesn't affect the plastic in the bottle. But then again, you have to look at the fluoride. I mean, there's probably a fluoride count in there. It's probably not extremely acidic. It's probably just over tap water. So I mean, it's just the best thing to do is either get like a house filter for your taps, or to get a water ionizer, which will cost you like 1,500. You can find a used one on online, but the thing about Life ionizers is that they look up your town. You give them your postal code or your zip code, and they look up what ingredients are in your town's water, and then they specify for you. So your filter is different than my filter, and they even have on Life ionizers, even have some models where it puts a UV light in it to kill any bacteria, and it puts an ohm in the water. Like ohm, it puts that in the water to realign the molecules. You guys all know that when you pray on water, it freezes different, changes the molecular structure. So if you're gonna spend any money on any water product, I would say Life ionizers. It's not because I sell it. It's not because I distribute for them. I distribute for them, or would like to, because their product is so great. So
Masterpiece.
Yeah.
Masterpiece.
Yes. Yes.
Structured water.
Yeah, you can do that. Okay, you go ahead.
So you saying the only place that's in the earth that you can go get some regular water is just off a spring? Other than that, you got to have an atomizer. If you ain't getting straight from the spring, you got to have an atomizer. Basically, what you're saying, right?
An ionizer is sometimes better. A lot of the parts on our Earth has become, you'll have like a farm, like a huge industrial farm, and that water will leak down into the ground, and it'll do its filtration jobs. But to filter out things like estrogen and subtle things like those is pretty tough. So the spring that you choose, it definitely has to be like a clean area. At the top of a mountain would be the best, or at the base of a mountain would be great, Not everybody doesn't have that, but the most structured water, and this water ionizer that I was talking about, it's want to structure your water, you can swirl it around for a couple minutes. Vortex. When it makes the vortex, that's molecules are rubbing and bouncing off each other, creating an electric charge. And if you send good thoughts into it, positivity, you are beautiful, hope, love, whatever, then that'll structure the water. Or you can put it next to not next to your computer, but you can turn your computer speakers up loud and put like a frequency in the air. Just YouTube like a frequency, like a love frequency or a healing frequency. Or you can get like a Tibetan singing bowl or anything that makes like a resonance, like a woo or ding, and strike that next to your water, and then with that vessel you can leave it overnight, crystal in it. Morning, it will be all structured.
Structured devices with that use crystals.
Crystals is the quickest way because it's used to whether it's in your.
So what happens if I drink distilled water for like, I don't know, let's say I've been drinking distilled water for about 7 months? What's supposed to happen to me?
And would you be the amounts of heavy metals and toxins in the distilled water doesn't have calcium in it. It doesn't have, like that, or iron or anything like that to give back to your body. So you're basically just really deeply hydrating.
Really?
Kind of using that as a magnet to put through your body. The great thing about the water ionizers is that what I was talking about is that you can make tea with it at room temperature. That's how small the water particles are. It's been blasted open, and it has released all the water's nutrients and cleaned it to the point where the molecules of the water is so small that it can penetrate the tea bag and the tea leaf and actually produce you like brown water from the tea, where normal water you would have to actually boil it. You'd have to use artificial heat to withdraw the tea's benefits. But the alkaline ionized water does it at room temperature, so it's absolutely life changing. So what that means is that when you drink it, it its molecules are smaller, so it can fit further down into your arteries, your veins, your muscles, all that.
Oh, okay. Because I was told that, or well, my experience is that the distilled water does that too. Like, just go straight to your system because there's nothing in it.
Yeah, but I'm right. But if it's distilled and it's just laying there for a year in a warehouse, and what is it doing? It's dead. It's not alive. It doesn't have a charge. You could put lemon juice in it to charge it back up, or you could swirl it around and make that vortex that'll charge it back up. But if you buy the water and you drink it, it hydrates you to the point where you're like, oh yeah, that was good, and it gets your insides wet.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about hydration, like spring water or ionized water, it's no match.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that like, cause I feel fine. You know what I mean? I get a headache when I'm hungry, but that's just me. You know what I mean? But other than that, that's the only time I really get a headache. You know what I'm saying? But I barely wait to eat. I don't try to starve myself. You know what I mean? I feel fine by drinking distilled water. I've been drinking it for a long time. I'm just wondering, like, okay, so what is supposed to be happening to me by now?
Well, I'm not going to prescribe what is and what isn't. My grandma, who's 80-year-old and 2 packs a day, she says she feels fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I felt fine before I went vegan. I said, I'm fine. I'm good. But until you experience that upper echelon of ease, of happiness, of bowel movements, of clear pee, of clear skin, dry scalp, a good moist scalp, I don't know what's going on with your body. You don't know what's going on inside your body. You know what I mean? We don't oftentimes, we just feel a pain. We get rushed to the hospital and we say, oh, you've had this here for 6 months. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to say what you're not feeling and what you should feel,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm saying that if you want maximum hydration and nutrition from your water,
Mm-hmm.
a water ionizer is the way to go, or a natural source like a volcano spring like Dr. Sebi had, that was full of minerals, and it was very hot, so there wasn't like bacteria in it. So that was very like replenishing. Now if you want to take pink Himalayan salt, which was a crystal, and you want to put that into your water and sit and put it into your jug of water and start storing those and drinking from that every time you drink, well, then that's a different story now, because you have completely clean water, distilled water, and you're adding completely clean minerals into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crystal. There's no germs on it, and it has anywhere between 80 and 90 trace minerals in it, and your body is composed of just over 100, like 102 minerals.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a better route to go. That's a better route than spring water that's bottled, because like I said, the spring water is hot. It gets put in plastic. It kind of melts the plastic. Yeah, so.
All right. Yeah, because my thing with distilled water is that like, it just makes me feel better knowing that it's just pure water going inside of me. But I said it's just
not.
does something
It's
something for my consciousness.
It's if you took a scoop of water from the ocean and you let it sit, it would crust up. There'd be a lot of crustaceans happening because of all the minerals that's in it. If you took a glass of dehydrated water, there'd be nothing in it. It's a dead water.
Mm.
Like I said, it's a magnet. It's gonna pull out it's gonna pull out your heavy metals. I'd say after 7 months of drinking that, I'd say you probably want to start mineralizing your water, because you want the calcium, you want the fluorate, not fluoride, but fluorate. You know, you want the magnesiums and irons. You want those minerals present.
Mm.
You know, you're basically eating a carrot with you know, a white carrot. You're eating basically cauliflower. Yeah, it fills you up and you poo it out, but what did it give to you? You probably expended more energy breaking down the cauliflower than you did get from the cauliflower.
Mm-hmm.
So just mix it up, you know, mix it up. Get your alkaline water, get your spring water, get, you know, but the biggest thing of all is don't get stressed out over what you're drinking, because the stress creates the oxidative stress in your cells environments that you want to keep clean. You know what I mean? So it's,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you're like saying, oh, I can't get good water, that stress is actually worse than sometimes drinking the tap water, because the tap water at least has the minerals in it that would replace the stress that you just took out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, true.
a lot to know about water. I mean, water is, I mean, it's just
It's important,
essential.
man.
We all essentially die of dehydration, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's important.
We wrinkle up. We're born in water. You know, semen is liquid. We shoot it into a wet woman, and it goes swimming in her. You know, it's everything is water. Then we get out, and then it's like so hard for a teenager to drink a glass of water, or you hear dumb girls saying, "Oh, I hate water. It has no taste." You know, it's like how much more removed from nature can we be, where we can't even drink water without, you know, a flavor in it.
Mm. It's crazy. What do you think about seltzer water? The carbonated water?
Carbonated water?
Yeah. My girlfriend drinks that shit.
Well, we essentially just burp out or sweat out the carbonation that's in. I mean, it has a to make the water more penetrative, because the gas expands us and it can get, you know, into us deeper. But and it's a good way to kind of curb your hunger, because, you know, you kind of feel full. Unfortunately, we're feeling full off the one thing that we should drink the most of, but it's a good way to get off of the addiction. It's good for the transitioner, I'd say. But I mean, carbonated water, I mean, it's not natural.
Mm. Yeah, no, I don't like it. It's gross.
I think it's gross too. There's a taste to it. It's weird.
Yeah, no, they have all types of flavors. My girlfriend loves that stuff. She's like addicted. Yeah, seltzer. Yeah, seltzer water. Just talking about it. It's completely unnatural.
It's unnatural?
Yeah, I've been told you that though.
No, I just didn't want to hear it.
Yeah, man, water is life, man. I mean, I've been, it's like something always happens, you know, like I'm saving up for this water ionizer. It's a little bit more for me and my dollar than you guys. It comes out of California. It's where it's made. But I'm trying to get my hands on it so badly. Because, you know, every time I give my daughter a drink of water, I feel guilty. Like, I've spent more on things in my past. You know, I should be able to conjure up $2,000 to put to basically the greatest health investment I've ever made. But it's like I start saving, and then, you know, my juicer goes out, or like I need to pay for, you know, a tire blows or some shit. You know, you guys know how it is.
Yeah. That's crazy though. Like, the maintenance, keeping up with that is gonna be expensive too.
Well, filters, the filter, so none of that bacteria and heavy metal get into the actual machine. It's just, it's ionizing filtered water, a triple stage filter as well, and they filter fluoride.
Wow.
So, which is huge, because Brita doesn't filter fluoride. So, you know, I mean, at this point, it's like, I've been looking around for water machines and purifiers for at least a decade, and coming across this Life Ionizer product. I mean, I hate to sound like a salesman, but goddamn, like at the same time, it's masterpiece. I always give the people the knowledge. I'm not saying pay me for it. This is free information. But yeah, if anybody out there is listening, if you're gonna make one single investment for your health, it should be water based, because we're over 75% water, and it should be the best of the best. You shouldn't. I mean, if you drive a Benz, you're putting in the premium gas. If you buy a Blu-ray player, then you're only buying Blu-ray discs. The top of the line. You know what I mean? So if you want to make a real investment, your body into your family's body, these water ionizers, they go all the way up to $10,000. You know what I mean? But you can get base models for 1 to 2 grand. You could probably find a used one. You know what I mean? So yeah, water ionizers, get on it.
Yeah, that's gonna be definitely an investment for me in the future when I get my coin up. You know what I mean? Sean G asked me if I crave sugars like candy and shit. Nah, sometimes I want to eat cake, but like, what? Like, but like that's it. Honey buns. I used to eat honey buns a lot. I don't even eat that anymore. Sugars like cupcakes. I like cupcake and like regular cake and shit, but I don't even really eat it all the time. I don't even really want to. It's just like once in a blue moon. I'm like, cake. Or when it's someone's birthday, I'll have one piece. But salt? Nah, I don't crave no damn. I don't crave salt. Nah, I don't think so. Like I like salty foods, but like chips and shit. I like chips sometimes, but I don't really eat it that much.
Yeah, and a lot of things, it's like, that was a good question. And sometimes someone who drinks milk will ask that, not knowing that the milk has tons of sugars in it, like white sugar.
White sugar?
Not just chocolate milk. I mean, your regular white milk. So definitely a vegan milk is a good way to go, because they always use natural sweeteners. You know what I mean? Like a cane sugar or something like that.
We think about vanilla. Vanilla. What do we got? Vanilla almond milk.
Vanilla almond milk.
Yeah,
vanilla almond.
That's what I got. That's what I give my daughter.
My shit.
That's what I give my daughter.
Cyanide.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's dope. Hey, it's better than dairy. That it's better than dairy. That's all I got to say. Personally, I've never given my daughter a drink like that.
Yeah, she loves it.
But
she's.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's got protein. It's got the fats. It's gonna make her grow up without acne. You know what I mean? She's not gonna get overweight. It's beautiful. Nobody ever say, oh well, there's dangers of this. It was like, okay, I'm sure they're very compared to another animal's been cooked and laden with sugar and hormones and shit. So yeah, cashew milk, hazelnut milk, rice milk, any kind of milk that's not just good. Me myself, I have like a cheesecloth, and I buy almonds and I soak them, and I just put them in my blender and I squeeze them, and I add a little bit of vanilla bean, a little bit of maple syrup. That's above and beyond. Like, that's a lot of work. Time to do that. So if you're going to like a boxed cartoned almond milk, I would just try to look up which one's the cleanest, which one has the fewest ingredients. That's all.
Yeah.
Dr. Sabi, he said.
Yeah, there's things in not even cashews. Like, this is the whole thing about the health industry that I really kind of ashamed that he has an opinion. You know what I mean? I mean, you could be a raw vegan, and people will say, well, what do you eat? You know what I mean? And then you'll say, oh, you must eat a lot of nuts. Oh yeah, I eat a lot of nuts, but not cashews. And then you'll have a person that eats meat, that eats cheese, that say, hey, look, I gotta find a healthier fat. And then someone will say, eat cashews and almonds.
and you'd be doing them a service because A, you're not expending a life like of a cow or a chicken, or and B, you know, it's healthy. It came from the ground. There's traces of cyanide in apples. But that's the thing, is that when you eat the thing in its whole form, then the that are composed in it balance each other out and they neutralize them. You could have something like cyanide in like a pear and iron and manganese, but once you eat it whole, then you don't have to worry about it because it gives back to you what your body took out of itself to digest. Whereas if you took out enzymes to try to digest cow milk or cheese or yogurt, then you're just left depleted. So yeah, Dr. Sebi, I mean, like Dr. Phil Valentine, he has discrepancies with Dr. Sebi, but Dr. Valentine's healed just as many people. That Rasta man who only eats raw, and Dr. Sebi will have a disagreement with that, saying, well, I heal people of anything. But then on the other side, the Rasta who lives in Jamaica, who's a raw foodist, says, well, I'm not trying to cure anything. I'm just living as healthy as possible by eating raw. And the way to do that is to preserve the enzymes by not cooking it, right? So just, hey, if it's not an animal, let's just like, you know, processed soy and deep fried chips and shit like that. If it's, you know, if it's a good substitute, always a plant-based, always almond milk, animal milk.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Has cyanide, yeah, but it doesn't have 5 different hormones, growth hormones, fertilizers, pesticides that were meant for the of crops, you know, that are given to cows. You know what I mean? It's just a lot cleaner. You know what I mean? If you want to make it yourself, that's even better. If you want to use walnuts, I mean, I buy walnuts. They're shelled. I crack them, take the walnuts out, soak them overnight. They get nice and big. Bend them up, put them in my cheesecloth, like I said, add water to it. And my daughter absolutely loves it clean. And, you know, that works. But again, it's a lot of work. Like I'm talking too much or something.
Yeah, you know, I used to boil my water and put my face over it, inhale, and drink it. And my fast lasted 7 days. And I'm not gonna lie, that was the purest feeling I've ever felt, ever. The only thing I did was I ate anise seeds, cloves, sea moss bladderwrack that I ordered from Dr. Sebi, and but I was distilling my own water. That was the best.
I'm telling you, I be feeling cool, man. I be chilling. Like
that's dope, yo. What you're doing, you know, 7-day fast. That's real good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, very uncomfortable on the 4th day. You go into the bathroom, like you peeing. You know, that was the most uncomfortable feeling ever in my life. It's like you have to brace, like, oh, oh shit. What's this?
Yeah, it's all water.
You know, but the way I literally felt, you know, everything leaving my skull, going down my spine and going all the way through my tube, leaving out the track and everything, you know. Bang. And the clarity and the way you feel is so peaceful. And my memory came back, amazingly came back. Definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's one thing I noticed when I was a vegetarian. My memory was like so on point. I'm already an elephant. I don't forget much, but when know, blah. But I'm getting back to it, and I mean the memory, like you said, the memory it came back 100 times fold.
Oh yeah, sharpening the memory. My sight, it's stuff I couldn't see, small print I couldn't see. After going through that, I could see the small print. There's a lot of mucus that gets caught in almost every part of our sensory. With the distilled water, I would drink it hot, and I would drink it straight from a pot, cast iron pot. And drinking it hot, I would feel everything flush. Get cold, I noticed like I had to drink distilled water. In fact, Bill gave me the advice of doing that, putting hydroperoxide because I was feeling a little sick. And when I drank the distilled water, felt that relief. It also brought back to my attention of when I would distill my own water. I would distill my own water and I would feel an instant flush,
Yeah. That goes again with what I was saying. It's like a magnet, and the fact that you're drinking it warm. Like, we should never drink cold water, right? It just stiffens up the mucus. So the fact that you're drinking it warm, that's like you got the kind of like the evaporation, the going into your humors, and you're just loosening it all up. So yeah, that's always key, because remember, if they're distilling it and they put it into bottles, well, then they're taking boiling water and they're putting it into plastic bottles. You know what I mean? They're not waiting for it to cool off. They got too much money to make. So that's one thing about bottled water in general. You know what I mean? Is that I use for enemas and for when I used to do tattoos. But other than that, I'll just drink my filtered water.
Masterpiece, you do tattoos, man?
Just to lay tats, man, in my basement.
Oh, I'm going to Canada. Get some tats by Masterpiece. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm dead ass serious. It's only a 4-hour drive.
I wasn't really good. I wasn't really that great at it.
Oh, for real? Oh, fuck it.
I never really got trained. I just picked up what I could on YouTube and went, just tatted all my friends.
Oh, so they trusted you. So you was good enough.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a dope artist. Like the lines were good. It's just, I didn't get too technical with the shading and stuff because I wasn't apprenticed.
Well, all my tats are like back home boogie tats, so I'm pretty sure they'd be better than the ones I have on me now.
Okay, dope. I'll add to the mosaic.
Yeah, for real. I got some shit I want to do. But I love tattoos, man. It's cool. But they say that when you tattoo your body, you can't get blood and shit. Though. You can't donate blood after you get tatted.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, I think that women that dye their hair shouldn't be able to give blood. The same thing. Yeah.
It's crazy.
This girl that I know, she's pregnant and she was high risk, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get my hair done." I'm like, "No, you're not. I wouldn't recommend that." You know what I mean? That's a lot of chemicals, not only that you're breathing in from whatever people are getting their perms or whatever, but I mean the dye is going into your blood system via your scalp. Forget about the nail salon with all their crazy smells, man. We got to keep kids and pregnant women far away from those
chemicals
guys.
Galore. That's crazy up in that bitch.
Huh?
I said chemicals galore. It's crazy up in there.
Yeah, and what did the next guy say too?
Oh yeah, with the pregnant woman, that's a huge danger.
Yeah, huge danger. You can't have that. It's like a toxic environment.
So I wanted to start doing we're gonna build for a little while longer, but before we close out the build, want to bring up a couple of points I wanted to make during the show. We got to do something, man. And when I'm saying we got to do something, I mean we got to put this truth activism into action. And I'm gonna keep it official. And people in the chat, if I'm wrong, I want y'all to tell me. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to let me know. But what we're doing, right? You know, talking about things, you know, putting out information out there, it's good. But I think that what we should start doing is, and what I'm gonna do it too, is what I want to call a 60-second truth challenge. And it's gonna be one of those videos that I want like everybody to participate in, like, you know, one of those challenges where you nominate people. So I want to nominate everybody on this panel to the first 60-second challenge. And with the 60-second challenge, you have to give your truth and whatever it is you want to give it about. And it could be about a whole bunch of different things. But you got 60 seconds to do it, to make a video and put it out there. And in the description of that video, nominate 5 other people to put out a 60-second truth video. I don't know what y'all want to do yours on, but I think I want to do mine on probably either NASA, ISS. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to do one on flat earth and everything, but you're going to have 60 seconds to put whatever information you can out there that you think is going to be enough to convince somebody that what you're saying is truth. And if they don't think so, they can just go do the research. It's the most beautiful thing about it. But it's my way of you know, putting out that work. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, go back and do some research and put it in a video, right? But the thing is, we got to get the word out there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling everybody on this panel, everybody that's gonna view this video, everybody that is on the chat, is in the chat right now. If y'all can do one, that would be crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this idea needs to span out there, because with it comes the fall of the deception. And that's exactly what okay, so Sanji says she's gonna do the weather modding. That's what's up. So you got 60 seconds to explain weather modding, what's the truth about it, you know what I mean? And then nominate 5 people after you're done with the video. Put it in the description, you know, and tag those people you nominate. I would advise to do the videos on YouTube, but if you got to do it on Facebook or whatever, people do theirs on Facebook, that's whatever. But the point is advertising truth. You know what I'm saying? Getting it out there, really getting it out there. And what better way to do it with a challenge? And if it goes viral,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If it goes viral, then shit, man. That's gonna be like the beginning of the awakening that they talk about, or the Aquarian age, man. And I'm not trying to, like, you know, get no notification off. I want everybody to do this shit. I don't give a fuck. Like, I was gonna talk to all the big channels first to put it out there like that, but I was like, you know what, if it goes out there, it goes out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they feel like they wanna promote it or whatever, promote it. But I'm telling y'all, I challenge all y'all on the panel to a 60-second challenge. I'm gonna challenge myself to one. I'm challenged Science Academy. I challenge Bro Sanchez. I challenge Dread. I challenge Sun and Moon Channel. I challenge D Marble, all to a 60-second truth challenge. You got 60 seconds to spill your truth on whatever subject it is that you want to spill truth about. And you got to nominate up to 5 people in the description of that challenge. All right? And it's to spread truth in such a fast way. And go ahead, Masterpiece. I know you want to touch on it. I'm sorry.
What I was gonna say is that's a great idea, And what I think would even work even more for us to come together is, well, because at first I thought you were talking about a truth video about ourselves. You know what I mean? Like 1 minute to say something about yourself that like maybe like you haven't been able to tell your friends or your family, just to put it out there, and so we could all come clean and get it off our chest, and we can, you know, use it to show like, hey, we all got something going inside of us. We all have a truth that we want to get out. Like if I put out a flat earth truth and then you put out a flat earth truth and you put out, but like if I put out the truth about me, you know, like something about how I feel inside, and it prompts you to say a truth about you, and everybody's releasing their inner baggage, you know, maybe that'll open up some love and space to love more. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that?
That's another challenge, you know. That's a challenge for someone on a personal, for people on a personal level. I like that challenge. I don't find.
Yeah. I like your challenge.
I don't find.
I like your challenge. It's like how you know how do we get the most? Because if you're doing like a 1 minute challenge on truth on say 9/11, you're gonna only want to get the most hard hitting facts. So
right.
That's really great for society to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we couple that along with a like, you know, like a personal truth, that could double up as like you know what I mean? That could be something that's very powerful, that could even prompt tears. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, it's what it's gonna do. It's gonna get people to take a look at themselves, not only to take a look at themselves, but to look at what things are on the table and finally deal with it, man. And instead of just turning the blind eye because the rest of the world is doing the same thing. Like that's what we need to do. We need to get to the nitty gritty here. Like we need to dig deep within ourselves, talk about who we are, and talk about what we know. Because, goddamn it, you can walk. For every city out there, there's about 20,000 old people fucking been complaining about, you know, how corrupt their government is and shit like that. You know, there been people always trying to get their point across about something, you know. And if I feel like with this challenge, you know, this is going to be something that people can really, really use to the advantage. The people like with the people that they nominate, you know, the people that they nominate obviously would know something. You know what I'm saying? And they want people to get the truth out there, but we have to understand that in order to do that, in order to get personal, we have to break down the stuff that brings us all together in the first place. And what we all have in common is we're all being lied to, we're all being deceived, and that's where it hits home the most. Once we start getting people to do the truth, 60-second truth challenge, about different things that, you know, bring us all together, like deception, you know, like, so I'm gonna do a 60-second truth challenge on Sandy Hook. That's the one I'm gonna do, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get my shit together with that. I'm gonna do 60 seconds of talking about what I think is true about Sandy Hook, you know what I mean? Was it a false flag or not? Yes, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get all my shit together, boom, put the video out, you know what I mean? And nominate 5 people that I believe got some knowledge on whatever, you know what I'm saying? And that's gonna prompt the next challenge, which is the challenge you're talking about, the more personal one. Because once we get people to start talking about the subjects at hand, the shit that we need to deal with first, that bring us all together, that we all have in common, which is the deception, deceivers, then we could start dealing with our personal shit too. But we gotta definitely attack this and come at this with some real passion. Like Bro Sanchez was talking the other day, man, I gotta give it to him. You know, I be all about peace and shit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm all about loving everybody and respecting people for where they're at in their consciousness, right? But if you're gonna be at the forefront of this and you're gonna be a soldier, then you might as well, you know what I mean, strap your boots on, man, and get ready for a fight, because it's gonna be hard, you know? And I'm telling you that, like, by doing this challenge, we kind of like play it smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could be on some Malcolm said and go by force, but then once we get the numbers together, it's gonna be something like a wave that hits these motherfuckers like a right hook knockout punch. You know what I'm saying? Straight from Muhammad Ali himself and Mike Tyson put together. You know what I mean? Because that's what people are into. They're into interacting on the internet and shit like that. Like, so that's what we gotta do. We gotta do that because we having these. Think about how long these videos be. You know, a lot of people don't have that type of patience. You know, but you put a 60-second challenge out there talking about Sandy Hook, some shit that they never heard of before. Like when I'm gonna talk about how, you know, they had paid actors in there, and they had one dude playing a father of a victim, and then he was also a fucking agent or policeman rushing into the place. It's crazy, ridiculous shit. So once I start saying shit about that, 60-something people who don't know about this, they hear like, what? They go do the research. Okay? And that's the whole point of this whole challenge, y'all. Is for people to question, like, what? What did he just say? Get the fuck out. Let me research that shit. That's what we want people to do. We want all the Madons. we want all the Madons of the world to be looking at this 60-second challenge and be like, what, nigga, what? Let me, wow, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to tell you something, man. We be on these debates, and it be fucking, what pisses me off, man, is that we'll be in these debates, right? And we'll be going over information that fucking I seen a long ass time ago. I'm like, damn, what the fuck, man? How are we gonna speed this shit up? You know what I'm saying? So I figured 60-second challenge. You know what I'm saying? That's how we speed it up. You know what I mean? Yeah, and okay, I'm gonna go in the chat because they talking some real shit in the chat. Yes, Sanji, good looking out, brother. Probably definitely need that. And all right, word, make the idea your own, bro. You know what I'm saying? Put it out there as your own. I don't care. We just need people to start doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? 60-second challenge, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just get it out there, you know? And the whole point of this, I want the big channels to do is like Bro Sanchez, Dread, and Sun and Moon and D Marble, because they can challenge their people in the chat. You know what I mean? Their subscribers. That's a lot of subscribers. You know what I'm saying? To make videos. Think about it. 51,000. Even if Bro Sanchez followers alone, 51,000 or 54,000 subscribers, 55,000 subscribers did a video, a 60-second challenge. That shit crazy. Crazy, bro. That shit will start a flood, a wave. You know what I'm saying? What's a 60-second challenge? Gary Rose says 60-second challenge is you got 60 seconds to spill your truth on whatever it is that you want to talk about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my 60-second challenge on Sandy Hook and how I think it was a whole bunch of BS, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to speak my truth on that, you know what I'm saying? So, and then after that, I'm going to nominate up to 5 people to do a truth challenge of their own. So they can do whatever they want to do, you know, speak the truth in whatever it is that they want. You know, and the subjects range from so much. You could do a truth challenge on like, you know, how, you know, fucking there's pedophilia bullshit in Disney movies, or how Walt Disney was a pedophile. You know what I'm saying? You could do a 60-second challenge on how George Washington and all the presidents and everybody was all related to each other in some way, somehow. You could do a 60-second challenge on Boston bombing. You could do a 60-second challenge on, you know, who shot Abraham Lincoln. You could do a 60-second challenge. The shit's endless, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's the whole point is to get people to start thinking, to start researching and getting their minds opened up. That's the only way that I see that we could do this shit effectively. You know what I mean? I invited some people onto the show today because I was going to introduce this on the show today, but they wasn't here. And it's okay, man. But it's all right because we're gonna sit there. We're still gonna get it out there. Dre Midas, what it do, baby? You know what I'm saying? We're still gonna get this out here, man. We're gonna get that idea out there. I want everybody in the chat to do a 60-second challenge. You know, get it out there, man. We gotta get this. We gotta get this truth out there strong because I'm gonna tell you, man. They out there paying motherfuckers to get up in these debates like Madon. And I'm telling you, Madon's either paid the fuck off and paid well because he does a good job, or he's just plain flat out stupid. You know what I'm saying? And that's not being disrespectful, that's being direct. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you right now, there are people out there meant to keep that deception alive. You know what I'm saying? During these debates and during these different arguments, and we allow this shit to try to, like, you know, expose it, whatever, or let people see what it is. But at the same time, we need to be doing things that help us further our mission here. You know what I'm saying? So think about this, y'all. 60-second challenge, right? 60-second truth challenge. Equate to every single person that's on Black Lives Matter, right? Think about all the people in the Black Lives Matter movement, right? Imagine if all those people put a 60-second challenge out, truth challenge out, video. Imagine that shit. You know what I'm saying? That'd be powerful. You feel me? And that's just one movement. You know what I mean? But we're talking about people across the whole entire plane, man, to spill their truth on whatever it is. They got 60 seconds to do it. Madonna Naki, yes, my bad. Madonna.
Now I had to slide that in.
Hey, gravity. Oh man, but yeah. Yo, but it's some real shit, y'all. I mean, like, come on, man. We need to start doing stuff. Like, making commercials too, if we can, you know what I'm saying? Like little 5-6 minute commercials or stuff. Just to have some content out there that supports, you know, this whole shit that we're doing. We don't want it to go in vain, man. We need this shit to, we need to use the internet to the best of our abilities. We need to take advantage of this shit. You know what I'm saying? They got all types of dumbass challenges out there, like they was talking about in the chat earlier. Like stupid, like just pointless, just to get views and clicks. You know, a 60-second truth challenge, bro. You know what I'm saying? To people who out there who have intellect and who want to actually learn, who just, you know, they might be curious, but they just don't know where to look. Boom, 60-second truth challenge. There's a whole shitload of them now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we get it out there. We put it out there. Boom, 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 boom. We get people to start talking, man. We get people to start actually, it's a great conversation piece for so many different people on so many different levels. It's gonna start a crazy ass, like, I wouldn't say a revolution, because when it comes to a revolution, you know, that's I mean, that's years in the making. You know, but it's gonna wake a lot of people up if we put it out there and we do it. You know what I mean? And I'm telling y'all, put this video out 60 seconds. It's just 1 minute. I'm gonna tell you, right? All right, so check it. This is how a real nigga do it, right? All right. Let's show you. So at first, right, I was gonna do a challenge on the flat earth or whatever. So here's my little sheet, my notepad, right? So I was taking notes and stuff on how I'm gonna do it. See, 60-second truth challenge right there. So that's basically what you do. So write down your bullet points on what you want to talk about, and then rehearse it in the mirror, right? And then time yourself when you're doing it. And once you got it down pat and you feel comfortable, record it and put it out. And it's not like you gotta jazz it up or do anything nice to the video. Just simple. Everyone got a phone that can record up to 60 seconds. Even if you wanted to do it like in one of those apps like Twitter or your Instagram or something. I think they do up to 60 seconds or whatever. You can even do it on the apps itself. It doesn't matter. Just get the challenge itself out there. You know what I'm saying? Because with the challenge comes the truth, comes the conversational pieces for so many different people. So many different people are going to be watching these truth challenges go through so many different truth challenges. Oh, let's talk about this. Let's research that. You know what I mean? Like, and it's big, man. It's really huge when you think about it. It's like the neurons in the brain connecting, you know, one to the other. That's what's going to happen once this comes out and goes viral, y'all. You know, and I truly believe that, because I always say, imagine how much you can learn if you just talk to everybody on your bus ride, you know, or on your train ride. Like if everybody on the train or everybody on the bus or a plane just fucking talk to each other for the whole time that they was on that ride, they would learn so much that day, more than they would learn in motherfucking the next 14 years of their life if they did no research for 14 years and they just lived their life. They will learn so much by talking to everybody on that one ride. And that's so true, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because with people comes a plethora of information. Like there's so many people. Like I've been talking up in the chat. Like Masterpiece, you was talking to me today about, you know, how I need minerals in the water and the salt, with the pink. Would you say the pink salt? Because I didn't get to write that down, so I want to write that down. If you're still there, I don't know if you're there. You there? Okay, he's gone. But anyways, Masterpiece taught me about some pink salt and something like that. Some I'm gonna look it up. I'm writing it down right now. Natural salt, mineral, because
yeah, it's called pink salt.
That's what it said. That's what he said, right? Pink salt, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna go look that up or whatever.
Pink salt.
Yeah. I was saying that earlier. Yeah. I was saying that that there's a lot to learn from a lot of people out there. That's why the 60-second challenge is true challenge is important, because there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of information that, you know, you can learn. I said today about how you know the pink salt is good to put in my distilled water. So I was like, shit, man, if I can't get the damn machine $2,000, I'm gonna just go get me some pink salt and put it in my distilled, and I'll be all right. You know, so.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I mean, I you learn something every day, you know. So we can learn a lot through the 60-second challenge, and I know that I'm gonna learn a whole lot, cause there's so much shit that people got. Himalayan pink salt. Dre Midas says Himalayan. All right. See, this is why I like having the chat on the screen.
Yeah, it comes from the Himalayas. It comes from the Himalayas, and it's just like a huge mine of pink crystals that happen to be salt, and they just chip away at it. You can get lamps, you know, pink salt lamps. They're sold at health food stores and crystal shops. I got like 5 salt lamps in my house. They're good. They put negative ions in the air, so always, you know, if you I don't know if you can find a pink salt lamp around you, James, but they're great to keep in your baby's rooms.
Wow, yeah, I want to definitely get that. Oh, shout out to Spirit Queen TV. She's in the chat. Shout out to her. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a wrench. Yeah, I definitely want to get into that on Masterpiece, because that's interesting, man. You know, I'm gonna be real with you, okay? I watched the video on what you was just talking about, you know, how you talked about, you know, the minerals and the TV. I mean, I'm reading at the same time.
The ions?
Yeah, the ion. Sorry, I'm reading at the same time, so I shouldn't do that. So let me focus. About how you was you was talking about I need minerals in my water, and in the video that I was watching, this old dude was talking about how those minerals aren't really the minerals you need. But you know, like I said, you know, you never know. You learn from everybody else, learn something new every day. You know, so that was one of the main reasons why I was drinking distilled water, was because I was told, you know, that pure water would be, you know, one of the best ways to go, because of the aspect, like with the bottled water you were saying, that hot springs, you know, getting poured into the. I knew all about that. I don't like that. That's that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, man. I just can't rock with that. You know what I mean? Like, and with distilled water, what I found is, you can buy distilled water, but it's all in gallons and shit. I don't know if it's, you think that they do the same, it's the same process or what?
Yeah, I mean the gallon is it's still on the factory line, and you know it moves underneath the spout. Distilled water's poured into it. I know the gallon that you're talking about. We got that here too.
Yeah. See,
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Would you need like for this for the machine, I'm sorry, bro, I can't pronounce it.
Ionizer.
Yeah, I can't. I have a speech impediment. I'm sorry. An ionizer. What would be the, like? Would you have? Do you hook that up like to your plumbing system at home, or is that something that is just like you have to? restock or what? Like, is it?
It's like it fits under your tap. Like it fits in under your tap. You don't have to do it. People install it. They come in and install it for you.
Mhm.
If you move, you can take it with you. There's no problem. So it's not yeah, it's not something that you have to constantly replace. It's something that where the water doesn't have to touch any plastics. It's just right from your pipe. It gets ionized and it's right to your glass.
Nice.
And it's good. It's good because it splits the tap. There's two spouts on it. One for the acid. Now, plants, they like acid water. So watering your plants would be a huge benefit. They'll grow a lot better. Skin is slightly more acidic than it is alkaline. So it's great for face with, washing your hair with, washing the counter and your dishes with. And then the alkaline water, you keep that for the inside your body. Heal everything. With alkaline water, no sustained mucus in the form of candida or no parasites can exist. It's too clean of an environment.
Mm. Okay.
When we eat acidic foods or processed foods that turn to acid, or like meat or dairy, what our bones do is it draws calcium and minerals out of it in order to alkalize the environment, to buffer the strong acid against your blood and your cells. If you're drinking alkalized water from the ionizer, because if you drink it from the bottle, then it's dead. But if you're drinking the alkalized water from the ionizer at plus 11 pH, 12 pH, then what you're doing is you are preventing in the form of smoke or cookies or whatever. You're preventing that acid from having your bones to leach its own minerals out, so you grow with healthy, strong bones.
Mm.
I'll send you guys in the back chat. I'll send the link in the back chat.
All right.
Actually, I'll hop on YouTube and I'll put it out in the chat for everybody else so they can benefit.
Nice, perfect.
Ever heard that neutral water is better?
Neutral water?
What water? Neutral?
Alkaline.
In the long run, it's better.
Alkaline water,
Just
I
in
think.
general.
Yeah, alkaline water is just I would say the best in the short and long term, because our environment is so acidic. The stress that we feel of waking up and going to work, not getting paid on time, the bills coming out, the shit that we eat, the cereals and the grains and all that shit that we eat, having an alkaline glass of water every time we drink water would be a mega benefit, because it's just going to get worse and worse out there. The water's getting worse. So I'm trying to build up to the point where I only have to drink the alkaline water. That's my goal.
Mm.
Live by a spring, like a natural spring on a mountain or something. That would be amazing.
Yeah, definitely. That would be a blessing.
Yeah, I went backpacking. Okay, word. I'm gonna check that out. I
put a video in the chat about the neutral water thing.
I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, when I went backpacking in Jamaica, I stayed with some Rastas in the hills, and they had a spout that just came right out of the mountain, and it went right into like a shower, and they just woke up every morning, and we just showered under that. Like it was kind of cold, but cold showers are beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
There was no heat to it, but I mean Jamaica's hot as shit, so take up fresh, nice, refreshing water, then go build up a ting, bun that, and then go chop some coconuts and drink like 3 coconuts before we leave the property. You know, it was amazing.
Nice. Yo, man, I gotta go to Jamaica one day. I gotta visit because I've always like had this weird like connection to Jamaica for some reason. I always wondered what Jamaica like looked like, what it felt like being there and shit. Cause I don't know, man. It's just something that attracts me to it. You know what's crazy too? Cause I'm growing dreads, right? And my girl says, she was like, when you get your dreads, I think you're gonna look a lot like Bob Marley. I'm like, oh man, I don't know. But I always like Bob Marley and shit. I always like his spirit, like what he talked about and everything. Even though he was a Mason and other shit too, whatever. But
Dreads, man.
huh?
I call it dreads. I call locks.
Locks, yeah. You told me that too before, man. I keep saying that. He's like, cause you
fellas, I'm gonna step away.
you dread life.
Cool. Yeah, I used to have dreads, man, and everywhere I went in Africa, Junior Gong, yo, it was crazy. Say, hey, Bob Marley's son.
Facts, you would look way more than Bob Marley than I would. Facts, yeah.
It's crazy, man. Like, when you have dreads in Jamaica, you gotta like. You gotta realize what you're doing. You know what I mean? You're going to the home of the Rastas, and it's like everybody is going to stop you. Yeah. Every Rasta is going to stop you, and you know, want to chop it up with you, and just, you know, you're trying to go here and see this and meet up with that person, and then say, hey Dread, come here. You know, so it's like, and you gotta give respect. You know, you gotta give respect because down there, you know, they don't rush through their days. You know what I mean? So it's like, you look a little weird if you're in a hurry. You gotta go somewhere. You know, so
yeah, that is weird.
Crazy, man.
Out there, you just chill, right? Like, but nah.
Yeah, you chill. You know, you gotta get your fence built, but you know, you'll worry about that. You'll work a job or two for a couple of days, pay for your fence, and then go back to just chilling out. literally, like that's how people do it. Like their roof is caved in, but you know they'll go to work until they can pay for the roof, and then they're chilling again. And then, you know, their fence breaks, and they go to work, and then they fix their fence, and then they're chilling again.
Hey, my fence broke, man, but I fixed it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm sorry, my phone died. I'm back.
Hey, you're back here, man.
I'm back here, man. You know?
Back here.
You know, I'm from the South, so I can do the Caribbean voice really good, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm starting saying.
Yeah. There's a funny billboard all over Jamaica. It's for the lotto, and the phrase is "me bruck out me bruckness."
That's dope. Yo.
Yeah,
hey,
and in Toronto, I was telling you this, James.
really
like in Toronto, it's like little Jamaica up here.
Yeah. Oh man, I gotta go, man. I really do want to. I want to go. I gotta go. I'm gonna go chill with Masterpiece.
Come up here, man.
We're gonna make some beats.
Come in the summertime.
We're gonna make some beats, man. You gonna teach me how to paint?
I was telling that yesterday. I said, man, me and my wife trying to, you know what I mean, get away, you know, go up to Canada, you know, shit, we can all make some good music, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, make some good music. You know, no fear from the cops, you know what I mean? They're just doing their thing and we do our thing. Weed's about to be legalized in July. It's gonna be lovely. Yeah. I gotta say, man, like we Canadians, we're pretty afraid of America, like in the general census. Like none of us really would ever want to go there, and just what we see on the news. I mean, I know it's to scare us, but what we see on the news about what the cops do to y'all down there, man, it's a trip. Like we feel bad that we're your neighbors. You know what I mean? Like we're living here like this, and you guys are dealing with that bullshit. It's really wild to us, man.
Well, let me touch on that because I'm gonna say something, right? I live on two sides of the law. The good side where you provide it, and the side where you break it. Okay? Motherfuckers know what they're doing, Masterpiece. Alright? If you know you're not supposed to be doing something, the simple thing is just to not do it. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand how anyone could really have sympathy or empathy for people like that, because like I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. Every crime that I've ever committed or whatever has been it's been thought out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and I know what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? And people know out there, they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? And so these cops, man, they deal with real shit. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that there isn't cops out there that are super duper corrupt and have like sometimes can't handle the adrenaline or can't handle the height of the situation, like the hypeness, and they get all caught up in the emotions in the moment. They don't know what to do. There is that aspect. But there is another aspect too of the reality of things. Like people say about, like, you know, racial profiling and shit, and of course you can never really understand who or what is going on. But I'm telling you, man, I'm from a hood, and if I was a cop, I wouldn't trust no motherfucking nigga. I wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, but dude, I'm seeing videos of like police officers like slamming little girls in their school desks onto the ground, and
yeah,
like,
that's ridiculous.
Girl,
I thought you was talking about like, okay, yeah.
I'm talking about the whole fact that the police force has they feel so comfortable doing this shit in America. Like, the American police force thinks that they can do anything because when they do it, they get let off for a couple months, and with pay, and it's there's no real consequences here. And
yeah,
you say my dad just got racially profiled in his car the other day because he drives a nice car, and he's like,
he's in America?
You racial profiled me.
He's in America?
No, it's Canada.
Oh, okay.
And because we do have racism here too. It's not like it's completely gone. Everywhere is racism, but he called him out for it. It's like, you profiled me. I saw you turn around at the yellow light and come after me. And he's like, you know what he said? He's like, "Oh, sir, we don't live in America, You know what I mean? So like, that's like our comparison. It's like, yo, this isn't America. You know what I mean? And
that's ironic. Ironic how people in America say blame Canada, then they blame America.
Yeah, right. It's funny, man. When I'm in Florida visiting my grandma, man, I feel very like wary. Like, I got my daughter and like my wife there. I don't know what's gonna pop off down there, man. It's crazy.
Damn, man.
It's crazy.
So my bad, Masterpiece. Like, yeah, when you talk about shit like, yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, they got these cops literally brainwashed to just be straight enforcers. Almost like judge and jury, you know what I mean? Execution it right then and there sometimes, you know what I mean? But
yep.
There's
they do.
Sometimes, they talk about the shit behind the scenes. Sometimes if it's your life or their life, by any means necessary, you know what I mean? Do what you gotta do. That's the reason why I get it.
And I'm not gonna lie though, sometimes, because I used to be a deputy, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, people can antagonize, like they know the situation they're in, and they know, I know some of them, they know their rights, when half of these cops that are employed on the force don't know the law as they should. So they can be blabbling on, this amendment, this was all this stuff, and the cop don't know what you're talking about, and they're going to arrest you just for the simple fact that you're not compliant to their demands.
Yeah, I see that a lot on the like free man on the land and like sovereign people. Like they're telling the cops what the law is, and they don't get it. They arrest you anyways, but then they get brought to the judge, and then the judge knows all of it. They're like, yep, that's right. Yeah, you're free to go. And it's crazy. Like, we don't have like hate crimes really. Like, I mean, they happen, but like hear that somebody died because of like the color of their skin or something like that, like you know, a KKK member did this, like we don't have that, you know what I mean? It's very disturbing, you know, to us, and and that just really, it really goes to show how fine-tuned their, you know what I mean? It's like you live here on this side of the border, and you know you don't hear about it, you know, and then you go, you know, a couple kilometers south of the border, like me, when I go a couple, as soon as I get into the States, I feel like the racial tension.
Wow.
It's crazy. As soon,
What was the
I
experience?
noticed that.
Like, how'd you feel? Like, what was it that made you feel the tension? Like when you got in, like you just like felt it in the air, like
a lot of like a lot of cowboys, you know what I mean? And a lot of like the cowboy type, like, you know, hey there, buddy, and that kind of like hickish kind of redneck. I don't know how to label it because I don't live with you guys, but suddenly when I see that, like in North Carolina, that was pretty bad. Like the type of looks and the type of
Here's an
people that you
example.
get.
Here's an example, Masterpiece. Okay, today, like I have a supervisor. He is the head guy, the store manager at where I'm working. Now he's a Mexican guy, but the way he speaks to people, it's offensive. But you could tell he does it in a way. Okay, I'm giving you an example. He's like, "Hey Jerry, and okay, and we're gonna do that, okay?" And you got it? Like I don't understand what he's talking about. And me being the person I am, I'm like, okay, all right, you know, because I know arguing with people like that is you're not gonna get anywhere, you know, because they already feel that they're superior to you, you know, and to feel superior don't have to come with a quote unquote race. You know, people get a certain status, and that's what I see, you know, more in status. Well, they got us caught up in race, but the real wars that's going on as far as mentally is the status war. Like, even if somebody may be deemed rich or poor, you know what I'm saying? If they don't have the status, you know, or it's a popularity contest around here, and as far as the South. Because
wow,
with the people,
is good
no, go ahead.
status related to kind of like the white man kind of thing? Like, oh, you got a white man job kind of thing, or is it?
Well, it's both. It's a little of both, because they have some black people here, quote unquote, that esteem themselves higher than others, you know, simply based off of their skin tone. The light skin is more, and I see it in my children, because my children come home with that from school, you know, because I have a daughter that's around your complexion, Masterpiece. You know, I have a daughter that's my complexion. I have a daughter that's a little the brown persuasion, you know, and they get on my brown daughter the most, and I have to remind them, hold on, we're not gonna bring that separatism in here. I let them know that whatever y'all picked up from school, keep it there, you know. But when y'all home, y'all sisters, you know, y'all came from me and mommy, and I told them that me and your mama, we not even y'all color, you know, we all different spectrum of this rainbow, you know what I'm saying? So y'all got to treat each other with respect, and what the school is teaching is division. You know, it's teaching that shit. So it's starting to home, actually, as far as, you know, getting out of that rut. But here in Louisiana, man, like it's more overt. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sorry, more covert. You know, they'll smile in your face and stab you behind your back. You know, and that's dealing with friends too. Like I have a few friends that are not of my race. You know. But I remember one time my wife got in a disagreement, and the said friend called the police on my wife, versus if we were, you know, in a quote unquote in the same arena, you know, same complexion, whatever, come together, we get in disagreement, we either gonna handle it, just gonna, you know what, I'm gonna leave, you know. So the tension is there, and I mean, our friends, some of them, they voted for Donald Trump. voted. Period. I think that's a whole sham in itself. But they voted. At, when we have discussions, we know as far as the whole what he's trying to put in place, or I'm not going to even say him, but the powers that be that's trying to get him to give a certain when it comes down to making America great again, you know, they believe in those ideals. So that lets me know, okay, surface. But what do you really, and I hate to bring it like that, but that's the way it is. What do you really have in mind? People of certain persuasions, you know, the browner colored skin people, like what's going on? And again, I have neighbors, you know, that like I don't even speak to. And I remember in Ohio, man, when I was in Ohio, closer to you, Masterpiece, everybody spoke to everybody. It was never a racial thing per se. It was more on the lines of like I said, status. You know, what you got and what you don't have. You know what I mean? But here is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, that's kind of like more what it is here, like in Canada. Like my teacher could be Indian. We have a Sri Lankan student, a Japanese, Korean, Jamaican, everybody, you know, Hungarian. Everybody's in one class, but we just like live in different parts. Like, you know, like I would live like say in the hood, and like someone else that went to the school would come from a nice plush area. But now that I'm in a nicer, plusher area, you know, I had different treatment than even white kids that were from the poor neighborhood. So yeah, in Canada, it's more of like a status thing. I'm glad you brought that. And I think it's very interesting that you got 3 complexion daughters. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, I can show them to you right now. Girls.
Great. It goes to show how diverse we are on the inside, you know what I mean? And, you know, people are trying to pin where we started off, you know, in one place, you know, but, you know, we're a variety.
This is my middle child, Alyssa. The brown skin one, you know.
Hey, Alyssa.
This is Avery. Come see Avery. This is Avery, the one that's closer to my complexion.
Hey, Avery.
Amira, come here, Amira. Come see Tootie. My little Tootie. She's not little. She's almost tall as my wife. This is my oldest, Amira. You know, 3 completely different.
Hello.
Yeah. Look, say hi, Amira.
Definitely.
Yes,
Hey.
three different complexions, you know, but with all the same family.
And you got beautiful
You know,
daughters, man. Beautiful family.
Thank you. But you know, we
That's what I love
we try
about
to
this. I love about this community, man. We're all, you know, we're not race based. We're all here together.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm just getting off work, trying to get everything situated and shit. But yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing that we all here, you know, actually trying to stop the divide, man, because the divide is so innate in the society. We don't have an affection for each other, a healthy affection. You know, when I and this made me upset. My wife have a relative that have children that acts funny with my children. So, but my children always get excited to see them, always. And it gets me upset. I'm like, you know what? Don't do that. They don't even like being around y'all. Don't, you know. But my wife had to tell me yesterday, she said, well, Jerry, their children, you know, they love is greatly. Oh, I didn't get one. I forgot.
Oh man.
I forgot. The love is greatly. I'm going to get it right now. The love is greatly expressed. They love being around people. You know what I'm saying? And teach them to, you know, treat everybody like you would want to be treated. You know.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So whenever you know, you come across people, whenever I meet people like outside of my family, that meets my children, they'll be like, man, they're so well mannered, they're so this and so that. You know, around here it's not likely to have children with both parents in the household either. You know,
That's
so that's another plus that my children have, a bonus that they have outside of other kids. You know, I have children come to my house. I'm not making this up, y'all. Y'all take my word for it. Children come to my house telling me and my wife, I wish you were my daddy. I wish you were my mommy. Do you have a mama? Love you, mama. Don't ever say that, you know? And they respect you even more. You know, I have children, hey, Mr. Jerry, and screaming at me, hollering, you know? And I feel so old when they do that. You know, hey, Mr. Jerry, and out of the blue, like, you know. So I know that we have a chance our hearts and doing with ourselves and how we're trying to change ourselves individually. But when it comes down to that's what's the most important thing, you know, and we got to go back to being that as far as in the mind, you know, because a child is always inquisitive. They always want to know, and people have stifled the question mark in their brain. And I'm at work speaking to a girl, and I mean, she didn't even I'm talking to somebody else. You know, and we're deliberating with each other, and she's like, you know what? She said, you know what? You're not going to even try to push your belief on me. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't believe in nothing, for one. I said, two, I'm speaking to him. You know, if you feel a certain way from what I'm saying, then that's on you. You know, but don't get upset with me because I'm giving a viewpoint that you're not. You know, you're not used to hearing, you know. And if you don't want to hear it, walk away. You know, it's simple as that.
Yeah.
But people get emotional. They don't want to deal with the issue that, you know. And what I notice is to inject certain belief systems, you know, that they currently hold. You can be talking about something completely different along the lines of maybe a said religion or any belief or any belief or thing that they do recreationally that goes into you know, like sports and all this other stuff. You know, they get mad, they get upset, like you know, like you damning them to hell, you know. And I told her, I said, I'm not damning you to hell, and that's exactly what she said. I don't even believe in the hell. Ooh, God, ooh, I pray for you, man. Don't pray for me. Don't pray for me. Pray for yourself.
Mm.
And you know, it's sad, bro. It's like she a grown woman, and I told her, I said, look, I was where you was. You know, I was preaching this shit. I was esteeming to be a minister. Whatever, you know, I was searching. You know, and if you stop searching and if you stay stagnant, you know, like that distilled water we talking about that don't get no circulation, you know, you're just gonna be dead. You know, you ain't gonna have nothing to live for, nothing to thrive. You know, no reason to thrive. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's hard. It's hard to say up there where you guys at, Massachusetts, California, Canada. You know, I mean, people are more open-minded. You know, around here, like I'm telling you, it's few. I'm not going to even say few and far between. It's like it's rare you see somebody with my thought pattern that you know that's synonymous with you guys' thought pattern. It's rare. You never see it.
Well, that's a crazy point that you bring up, and it's a good point to bring up to close the show out with because it goes back to that oneness that we always talk about. Now, from what I've noticed is that there are sleeping people everywhere. Everywhere there are sleeping people. Would you say that there are more open-minded people up here in the north than there are in the south? I would think not. For the simple fact that where I'm from, there is not a lot of people that I know in the community that is awake, you know what I'm saying, or would you know what I'm saying, consciously aware, you know what I'm saying. I think
Mhm.
that there are conscious people all over the entire plane that you know they're at a certain level. We're all at a certain level. We're people are now catching up. The people that are still like you know talking about you need Jesus and all that, they're still catching up with in that indoctrination. They haven't figured out that they're still indoctrinated yet. You know, but their minds, it's like okay, you got five hands. I mean, two hands or five fingers, right? And so those hands can do anything that any other pair of hands can do as long as you get trained. Okay, if my hands can build a bike, right, but my hands can't build a car, does that make my hands useless because I can only build a bike but I can't build a car? No, I can build a car. You just gotta teach me how to build that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I just can't get past only knowing how to build a bike because my intellect. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to learn more shit before I can learn about different concepts on how to, you know, ingest different things. So when you come to a conclusion that says that people in the North are more, you know, have more open minds than people in the South, I don't think that is true.
Let me rephrase it. It's not from my experience when it comes down to certain topics, you know, such as religion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the reason I say people are more open minded because you have a more vast array of belief. I'm not, and don't get it twisted. You know, they still have their belief systems, but they're more willing to listen and speak. Because I done spoken to people from around the world, and just from one place I used to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was an offshore company, and it was a Canadian ambulance service that were giving water survival training.
Right.
And you know, people from all over the world came over there, and from speaking with these people from, you know, gave me an idea of how the masses mind, you know, accepts certain information. When I was living in California, you know, speaking to people, topics, you know, they were more readily, but at least to do some research behind what I'm talking about or whatever we're dealing with.
Jaren, I learned more from you than I learned from anybody I met growing up around here. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is that I feel the same way as you. Like, you know, you try to talk to other people around you and they just don't get it or they just don't want to get it and they just can't conceptualize what you're trying to talk about, you know, and then they want to, like, you know, basically, like, judge you. That happens where I am right now. And I feel like it happens everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just feel like, yo, like there's people lost all across the plane, man. You know, and that's basically my point that I'm trying to make is that don't feel alone, don't feel like out down there, like it's like this everywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that like that's why I was saying this is a good community to be a part of because like once we get this shit figured out, we all become neighbors and shit. You know what I'm saying? One day that'd be dope. You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the whole point of this whole movement. Go ahead, bro.
I feel what Jarian is saying because up here, because like I said, you can find anybody in the world that you want up here, whether they're from Tibet, China, Sri Lanka, Israel. We have every culture in basically every school here, and so being like the most multicultural city, a lot of people cross. Like a lot of Jews grow up. A lot of people that were Catholic raised grow up with no religion. You know what I mean? Because we're all put in the same class together, and we realize that it's like, you know, everybody has their own religion, so why participate in a religion? It's so the religiousness is very like you hear a lot of the Canada don't like religion, don't like politics. I was out in like the quote unquote, like, you know, what you would say whitest province that we have, which is Nova Scotia, which is New Scotland. And these people still have their Irish accents. A lot of them still have their Gaelic and their Scottish accents. And I was there and all it on the beach. And now this is just one incident. I'm not saying that people aren't sleeping and there's not racism, but I'm just giving a breakdown of what happened to me. I was on a beach and I lost my wallet on the beach. The next day I went to the store with some friends that I met out there, and the lady, she asked me, she said, "Hey, did you get your wallet? Did you get your wallet back?" And then I told her, "Yeah, I did, because somebody dropped it off. I was painting a hostel. I was painting the outside of it. That's how I was supporting myself." And this random guy comes up to me in a car, this white guy, and he says, "Hey, is this your wallet?" And then I said, "Yeah, I think it is." And then he like stops me, checks my ID, makes sure that it's actually my wallet, gives it back to me. I go to the convenience store. The lady asks if I got my wallet. A white guy on a bike, on a Harley Davidson, pulls over, and he's like, "Hey, fella, did you get your wallet back?" And I was like, "What is going on? Like, I can't even believe these people are like, you know, taking time out of their day to see if me, you know, some, you know, in their eyes, like some black kid, got their wallet back safe and sound. You know what I mean? With the money still in it." So, you know, we do have a lot more space between people. Like California's population is about Canada's population. So that has a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? Mad at each other. We accept and embrace different cultures. Like the Indians that have to wrap their head up, like the Hindus, they're police officers. You know what I mean? But they can't put a police hat over their head wraps. So Toronto, custom made Toronto police with the head wrap on it as like a Toronto police turban. So, you know, we're very open to that. So I mean, if anybody wants to come and visit and just kind of kick back and relax and just enjoy a little bit more humanity, you know, Canada is definitely a place to come. But there's other places like that too, like New Zealand is very much like that. There's places in Sweden and stuff like that are very much like that. A lot of places in Malawi, I mean in Africa, because in Africa, a lot of the technology is from like quote unquote white man or the Arab, so they see them as helpers, or the Chinese or the Korean. They don't see you go to many parts of Africa talking that black power shit, and they're just gonna laugh at you. You know, they're not gonna understand you, because in their eyes, black nations aren't helping them. You know, Chinese people are, Korean people are, and even though they might be taking more than they give, they're at least donating water in times of famine and shit like that. So that from their perspective, the race game is like, you know, it doesn't really exist. It's more status.
Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting, the dynamics. Like I went over there, and at the beginning I was on the black power shit, you know, like we gotta get the white man out of here and like stop, you know, letting them build the roads, and you know, you have the power, you got the melanin and all that, and I would just be met with like blank stares, like, what are you talking about, man? Like, white people have built this whole school and this whole community for us. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Exactly. You know, that reminds me of Dave Chappelle. He'd be like, "Kill those niggers."
Yeah.
The black white supremacists. It's like, you guys think about it. That's so deep. The black white supremacist skit. You know how deep that skit was, right? I mean, that was a deep, 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 deep skit. And the point that Dave Chappelle was trying to make that was that color really doesn't matter. It's all about who you are inside. You know, because that man was blind. He didn't know that he didn't know that he was black. You know, the whole time he thought he was white. And his followers thought he was white. And when they found out, And when he found out he was black, he divorced his wife for being for being a nigga lover. So it's like, that is crazy. He shows how deeply like indoctrinated people are. You know what I mean? That they won't even believe in love anymore. And that's how powerful racism is. That man sat there and really made a conscious decision to straight up divorce and leave his wife after all she has done for him. And just straight up because she's a nigga lover. Because she loved him. That's deep. Alright? Now, people need to get back to nature, get back to loving ourselves for who we really are. And I just want to I'm going to end the show. I've been streaming for a little bit. Trying to keep these streams a little bit shorter. So yeah.
When we gonna start the 60-second challenge?
Well, that's up to you, bro. You want to start yours? Put yours out. 60-second challenge. If you want to display, if you want to put them on this platform, like you want to use this platform to put it out, we can do that too. We can actually. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah. Every time we have a show, we're gonna allow the chat to play their 60-second challenge live on air. All right, and if you have whenever you do your 60-second challenge, let me know, and we'll do it. Like I said, I'm doing mine on Sandy Hook. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm doing mine on Sandy Hook. And my girl's like, oh my God.
I gotta come up with mine. I got a decent selection. I just don't know which one to pick.
Yeah, so let's close out with this 60-second challenge, man. Let's get everybody. Spirit Queen. If you're still in the chat, I know I see you. Yeah, you in there. Yeah. All right, word. So she's asking about it. All right, well, 60-second truth challenge. That's what it is. 60-second truth challenge is basically you got 60 seconds to spill your truth on whatever it is that is true to you. So what I'm doing Sandy Hook. Just because I want to do Sandy Hook. It's been something I've been talking about for a long time, and I just get real passionate about it. So I'm gonna do that one. I got 60 seconds to talk about Sandy Hook and my truth and what the most profound information that I have to prove that it was a false flag. And you could do your truth in whatever. You could do your truth about natural medicines. You could do your truth about whatever it is you want to do, Boston Bomber, the world being a globe or being flat, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Anything. It's just to get people to start talking, to get people to start thinking, opening up their minds, doing research. So if I start talking about the Boston Bomber or Sandy Hook, right? And people like, oh shit, what did you just say? Let me go research that. You know what I mean? Or if you do a research on, anything that's good for your health or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They go, so, oh shit, what she's talking about? Let me go research that. You know what I mean? So the whole point is to get say you make a 60-second 60-second truth challenge, right? You put it out, all your followers, you know what I mean? You nominate your followers to do the same thing. You know what I mean? So at the end of every video, 60-second truth challenge, you will put up nominations in the description. I'm saying, so basically, if you would like to do a 60-second truth challenge on your channel to get people to, get going, that'll be what's up, man. Because that's basically what we're doing. We want people to just do it. You know what I mean? Like, just to get it done and to get the idea out there, so we can get people to start becoming more consciously aware of their environment, who they are. It's just something that's like advertisement. You know what I mean? It's like it's our way of being out there with a sign. You know how those picketers, the writers, they out there, no more meat, no more meat. It's the same thing, it's the same thing. Right. So we're trying to get people to start talking, create conversation pieces and get everything exposed for what it really is. And Master Peace brought up a very important Yeah, you like the idea? It's a fire idea. Word, good looks, good looks. I like that. Yeah. Yo, Science Academy, bro. We about to end real soon. I'm sorry, that we missed you. But yeah, we talk about the 60-second truth challenge, man. If you didn't get that 60-second truth challenge, you got 60 seconds to spill your truth on whatever it is you want to talk about. I'm doing mine on the Sandy Hook. You could do yours on whatever it is that you want to do. Anything that has to be like scientific or whatever. You want to drop some scientific facts. You could do more than one 60-second truth challenge, brother. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Empress. I appreciate that. So if y'all can drop your 60-second truth challenge too, and Empress, Jay Knight, Effie Underdog, little Timmy, I think that's his name. Everybody in this chat, Billy Sanchez, I see you, Eddie Mahete. Yo, all y'all do a all y'all do a 60-second truth challenge, yo. You know what I'm saying? Get it out there. And then nominate at least 5 people if you know, what I'm saying, that you know would definitely do a 60-second truth challenge video. Because that's how we're going to get this people to start talking, waking up more faster. You know what I'm saying? We need things to happen now because we got all these debates and we're doing all these videos that are very lengthy, okay? And we know that people are losing a lot of patience. So we keep it at 60 seconds. We get people to be interested. And if they want to start doing get interested and start researching on these, on what they see on these videos, then we're doing our job. You know what I'm saying? And we're getting people to really start caring about what's going on. You know what I mean? We really need to do this. So Spirit Clean, if you can get your 60-second challenge popping, truth challenge popping, that'd be what's up. You know, talk to your followers, your viewers to do that. You know what I mean? Bro Sanchez, Dread, anybody out there, Sun and Moon, if you're watching this, 60-second truth challenge, go. Put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, I'm gonna end this live stream. Shout out to all the panelists. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Remember, gem dropping session. Yeah. Drop them Jews, and drop them. I'm gonna get you the wrench right now. Hold up, Jamaican. Hold up, man.
Yeah, it was a good stream. It was a real good stream. Put out a lot of info. I hope people really catch word of this one. I'll share it on my page too. Since you're closing out, I'll say my piece now. I'm reading my daughter a bedtime story, so I'll be Audi 5000. Peace and love to all y'all out there. Everybody that's on the panel. David, Jerry, and Justin, Mahide, The Build, and Wilson. All of y'all, mad love and mad respect to you guys for making yourselves available for this truth to come out, man. I really, I'm not always available. I see you guys calling me, but I really appreciate the time that we have together.
Oh, man, we appreciate you. Every time you're on here, man, it's a pleasure because you're always dropping them views, man. We get to talking, you get to conversating, and you open up new avenues in our brainwaves, man. Like, we got to really keep connecting like this, man. Whenever you can, hop on, man. Well, you already know you always get the link anyway. You always get that love.
And I want to apologize too. My phone died on me twice when I was trying to listen in. So my apologies.
Yeah, so it's all good. Google Hangouts drains the battery, man. All right, y'all.
Well, to be real, all right, bro. To be real, my phone charge lasts all day. You know what I'm saying? All day until the end. And then I didn't have my charger today. That's why it went out on me. But I want to say peace to everybody, y'all.
All right, y'all. So remember, work on that 60-second challenge, man. I'm talking to the panelists.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna 60-second challenge because it's gonna be what's up, man.
Yeah, you know what? I came up with a topic. I know I'm gonna do mine on Crotch Rapoa. I gotta make sure it's sharp and ready.
Yeah.
I'll be ready when the next show. We do the next show.
Word.
I'm gonna bust my dome head open with it. So I gotta do that one.
You gotta go Madonna cracker.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
hey, man, that's really gonna wake up some people's eyes, man. This 60 seconds, man.
I'm telling you, man, the 60-second truth challenge,
Yes.
man, baby. This is gonna be, it's gonna be crazy, man. It's like neurons firing off in the brain when it's growing.
For real.
I'm telling you, they're gonna be mad at me when they be like, "Damn, this nigga, why you gotta exist?" But it's okay, man, because you know what? They ain't ever gonna trace it back to me because you know what? That shit's gonna be so big. They ain't gonna think of like I wasted time. It's too late. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's
too late. The information is out there.
It's gonna be out there, baby. Yeah, man.
Man, I appreciate y'all. Like I said, I love building with y'all. I love listening to y'all, even though I wasn't on here to say much. I was listening.
Yeah, man, we building. This is what the show's about. I love it because we come up on here and we actually like get to a point. We don't stop in our tracks to disrespect each other, not like that. You know, I love it.
Right.
That's right.
We be everything.
We gotta keep going.
We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. And I'm gonna have my girl join us. So it's gonna be my wife to be actually. So I'm my fiance. I gotta get that ring though. You know what I'm saying?
How you get it?
Either a ring or something that's. Listen, man. I'm telling you, I want my wedding to be special.
Yeah, make it out of some tree bark or something.
Something that I gotta go and get it myself though. Like say if it's like at the top of a mountain or something, I want to climb that bitch and get it. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like do something special. Like you know what I mean? Something else. Like get
something different.
Get married like with our ankles submerged in water or something. You know?
Yeah, something different, man.
Yeah, no, cause I don't like diamonds and shit like that. I be trying to fuck all that, man.
Yeah, it ain't. It's robbing somebody else anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, facts. Big time.
Like I said, me and my wife, our rings got stolen. So the symbol we have for our love is each other.
Yeah, that's real. I love that.
I like that.
I like that.
like that.
Jerry said the symbol we have for our love is each other. That's dope.
I know that's right. That's dope.
That's on a massive. Hey, that's crazy. The symbol we have for
dope.
each other. Oh, the symbol we have
Is
for our
each other.
love is each other. That's crazy.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's true, man.
That's dope right there, buddy. For real.
That's nuts. You know, that's what's up right there. The symbol we have for our love is each other.
Yeah.
That's a stack.
Because we went through the spell. Of because I was mad. Well, my wife was more mad than I was. I was just like, like, man, where in the hell is my ring? You know, but she was upset because she thought I lost it. But one time I washed my hands in the bathroom at a gas station, and I took my ring off and I set it on the sink. I left. I came back. Good thing my ring was still there, because my ring and my phone was on the sink. You know. Yeah. So after that, I want to say a few months later, her ring came up missing.
I ain't no phone when a rabbit got gone.
Yeah, when her ring came up missing, we like, okay, we don't misplace things like this. So we realized what happened. You know, the initial shock of it being gone was there, but after that, we're like, you know what? We was thinking about going to get another one. I'm like, man, nah, that's okay. I love you. You love me. We together. We've been together. We gonna be together. So.
What? No.
Apologize too, fellas. I've been having that dang speaker on up loud.
It's all good, bro. We all got our lives, you know. We're doing what we're doing in the midst of all that, you know, it's not like we have a shared platform to sit down and, you know, we all around a table and discussing these things. So it's understandable. We understand, man.
Yeah. No, we Gucci, man. We shit, man. We
But
doing
that's
what
the
we gotta
time we
do.
go, man.
We do what we gotta do. You know, we
But
connect.
that 60 seconds gonna blow it out the water, man. It's gonna be people listening all over.
Man, it's the whole point of the 60-second challenge, man, is to get people to open up their minds, open up their spirits, start talking to each other, start loving each
Yes,
other again, man, and have the symbol of
yes.
their love for each other be themselves, be each other. The symbol for their love be each other. That's crazy. Yo, I love it. Yo, man, it's dope. I love it. Yo, we the build.
Yeah, I like that, man.
That's how it happens, man. You know, just flow. You know, it's how it flow. Most of my lyrics for my songs come like that. Just me saying something off the top of my head, and oh shit, all right, that shit down.
Ah, that's dope.
Yo, the
Yeah, I like
mans,
that.
yo. Yo, the mans. Yo, shout out to Spirit Queen TV out here chilling with us in the chat, man. Thank you very much
Spirit
for coming
Queen
through.
TV.
You know what I'm saying? That channel. That's what's up. You give her much
Spirit
support.
Queen. I
Yeah,
like
she's
that,
supporting
man.
the channel, man. That's what's up. Yeah. You know.
I like that. Spirit Queen. She's probably a beautiful person.
She got a good channel, man. Got a lot of knowledge on her channel. She brings it back to nature for real.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Man, I want to find out something too.
What's good, bro?
What's that?
I'm just wondering this. Man, ever seen like, I ain't gonna say it because if she could be me fucked up too.
Say it, man. Hey.
I'm gonna say, man, I wonder when I look at relationships, is a negative and a positive. I mean, one negative than the other, or is one more positive than the other? Does that make it work? You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
Does anybody
here's
understand what I'm saying?
I understand exactly what you're saying. Like to balance it all. Well, okay. The reason I see negative and positive as a relationship is non-communication, and our perspectives are different, but they don't give each other the open opportunity to express their differences to each other. So they're always combative. You know, me and my wife, when we first got together, you know, she was like she liked to debate, and I wouldn't give it I wouldn't give it what she wanted, you know. And I told her I don't like to. It starts arguments. I don't like to fuss, you know. And she's a very like when she knows what she knows, she's like me in a way. She's not going to back down, you know. But as far as compromising and coming to an understanding, you know, she may not in my face, like, you know what, she may not agree at that moment, but given time, she'll come to realize, and you know, I'm not going to say accept, but the perspective, because she know she deals in the realm of emotion. She understands that. And most women, they don't admit that, but she admits she understands. She call it that feminine shit. That's what she call it. I'm sorry, Jan. I was on that feminine shit.
Oh, okay, feminine shit.
Yeah,
you're crazy.
You know,
it is what it is. It is what it is. She just admitting it. Yeah, I like to hear that it's admitting.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I admit when I'm wrong. You know, even though sometimes it may be hard for both of us.
Yeah.
You know, but we jump over that. You know, and that's the hurdle I think we cross that most people our age and above they can't get over that hurdle. You know, because they're so cemented
it's hard,
in their convictions. Mm-hmm.
I want to keep on talking.
And they yeah, because they grow up in a way that like, especially seeing their parent. Like I know my mom, she's a very forceful woman. You know, everything had to be her way or the highway, even if she was wrong. You know, and yeah, and you know, when I was a child, I always had a. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted.
Oh no,
But
I
I
don't.
always had like an eerie feeling, you know, about my mom, you know. And growing up, she would try to make me take sides, like, but I would never do it. I would always look at it from a logical standpoint, you know. And as a child, I would tell her, "Well, Mom, why are you talking to me about this? You know, I'm a kid, you know." And she was like, "Oh, you just taking up for your daddy." I'm like, "What? Like, come on, you my mama." Like, I'm like, "You my mom." Like, why would I choose any? Like, y'all both my
I ain't gonna
parents.
roll on. Yeah, I ain't gonna roll on you for this nigga.
You know. But at the same time, you know, like my dad, he used to like to drink. You know, he wasn't an abusive person,
He just
but
talk loud.
well, he didn't really like. He just liked to laugh, have fun. You know, but he was overly like, he was like, it was exaggerated.
Right.
You know, so but he was fun though. You know, my wife would tell you he was fun to be around, but my mom didn't like that, and that would cause physical altercation. You know,
Because he happy in the motherfucker.
yeah. And she don't be
Nah, man,
happy,
I'm
be
not
mad
laughing.
with me. No,
I'm
I'm
not.
just.
The shit funny. I'm not laughing at you, man. I go through the
Oh no, I'm
same shit.
laughing. I know, and the thing is, women in that generation, because my mom is 58. You know, and women in that generation, from a young age, they were whatever they were. That's what they was gonna be for the rest of their life.
Facts.
And I see that in everybody in that age range and up. You know, there's no turning back. You know, there was a young girl, and I said, man, she gonna be just like my mom. If it come out tomorrow that the Bible is fake, they will still, Lord, I still believe in you, Lord. I still, you know, that's the kind of mind state, you know, people of that age range have. So in relationships, whenever one feels a certain way, they will not bend at all.
That's true.
You know, and that's what breaks up
The
the
relationship.
matrimony.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's good,
Man, it hurt
man.
me so bad. I feel you, Darion, man. I feel you, man. It hurt me so bad, y'all. Man, I just don't know. My mama sit there and watch the TBN channel all goddamn day, man. That TBN channel, I walk in that motherfucker, man. I walk in there and pick up my girl and watch her. If I say something to her and shit, think about it, she'll cuss me out. If I say something about it, cuss me out now. But she sitting there watching that damn shit all day long, man. I'm like, that shit make me so sick, man. I should be trying to rush and go to church and spend the money and tithes and money and this, that. Listen to them damn preachers. They talking about put this money off and you get this. And she be having all that, listening to all that shit, putting them shit stuff.
Glory.
We're repeating all these damn things. Like a preacher might say, "Oh, do repeat this verse or do this shit here." Or got shit stamped all around the house. Verses. I'm like, man, this shit going to the extreme, man. I'm like, what? This? I just don't know what to do, man. It hurt me to my heart to see my mama, like, you know what I'm saying? Once you get awakened, like, it hurts your heart to see people you love going through this shit, man.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna close out the show with this, y'all. I'm gonna close out the show with this, and I'm gonna say something. I know it hurt you to your heart, Justin, and I'm gonna tell you, my daddy believes in Jesus Christ. My daddy's a Christian. Okay. Now listen, man. Listen, man. Hold up, real quick, bro. Hold on, man. Listen, my father's a Christian, so I know what you mean. In all seriousness, all bullshit aside, right? I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit. We talked about this on Bro Sanchez last night about how when you believe in a religion, right, that faith that you have is the substance that you need in order to bring things into that fruition. Okay, so don't be mad. Or if they really believe, if they, like what Jarian said, if they said on TV that religion's bullshit, they would still believe it. That's a good thing, okay? Now I'm gonna tell you why that's a good thing, because whenever you pray, that's a form of meditation, okay? So when people meditate, when people pray, right, and they pray to whatever it is that they're praying to, they believe and have faith that whatever it is that they're praying for is going to come true or come to fruition because of whatever. Now, it is fucked up, and we don't fuck with it here, you know what I'm saying? We all know this, but we also talk about respecting people for where they are in their, consciousness. You understand? That's what the build is about. To build upon certain concepts and ideas and respecting people for where they are on that level. You know what I'm saying? We can make jokes about it and we can laugh about it. That's fine. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that at all. What I'm saying is to bring things back into perspective is to understand that what that person is doing is they're doing whatever they can to survive, man. Okay? And what I mean by that is they're subconsciously latching on to the faith because that is what they know naturally for them, because that's all that they was given. So they're looking for that substance, something to believe in that's going to give them the strength to live another day or to witness things coming to fruition, witness blessings, okay? There's all types of different religions, and they all pray for the same shit: clothing, food, housing, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They want the girl. It's human beings, okay? They all want the same shit. They all pray to different gods. They all get what they ask for because they all have that power within themselves. It's that substance that Madonna Naki was talking about. You know what I'm saying? And he was right when he was talking about that. You know what I mean? So y'all need to understand that it's okay for people to believe in a religion as long as they really believe in that motherfucking religion. Okay? And if they really have faith, because that's what you need in order to receive the blessings or to bring things into fruition. You need to see, when I meditated. That's why they tell you, pray before you go to bed, okay? Because before you go to bed, you start to meditate on whatever it is you went throughout the day, whether you realize it or not. Whenever you start to thinking and you're just laying there and you're still and you can't go to sleep, that's meditation. So you got to know exactly what you're doing before you go to bed. You got to understand that you got to take your mind and put it into the place where you want it to be the next day when you wake up. You can't put it into the past, or else you're going to wake up in the past. You're going to wake up further deeper into whatever it is that you don't want to be fucking with. But it's all up to you in your head, okay? So you gotta reverse that cycle. You gotta understand that in order to bring things into fruition, into your reality, you got to go to that subconscious mind, okay? And you gotta make it real in the subconscious first for it to be real in the so-called realm of reality or third dimensional world, whatever. So you guys got to remember this: when people are praying to whatever they're praying to, and they really believe that shit, let them believe it, man. Don't fuck with them, because you know what? No, I'm serious, man. And until they're ready, for real, because you're gonna fuck up their whole shit, and that's gonna mess up their whole how they're running their life, man. How their things go in their life. You know what I'm saying? You can really, really screw somebody's life up like that, man.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
like
reason
throwing
why.
a virus on them.
Exactly, because that's the whole shit gets fucked up. They don't know what to believe anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it is.
and you gotta really be ready for that shit, man. You can't just turn that shit up because
And each
it's
one of us
powerful.
can testify to what that feeling is.
Word.
Each one of us, each one of us can attest to that feeling because we didn't believe it.
Right. You know, so don't be mad or don't get yourself upset, bro, when you're supposed to have a higher knowing in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to really understand a person where they're at in life and understand that they're only going to progress with knowledge that's out there when they're ready to do that. But if they're living with faith, if they're living on a faith-based life for whatever it is they want to believe, they believe in a fucking plastic bag, and that's what they want to believe in. You better let them believe in that plastic bag, and don't tell them that they're crazy. Let them do it, because it's the substance, the fact that you are believing in anything, the fact that you were able to believe, the fact that you were able to live with faith is what the Creator wants. The Creator wants you to just have the faith that the next day You know, because that was the whole point of this creation in the first place, to bring nurture and bring love. Okay? And what better way to appreciate that nurture and love through faith? To know that it's coming and to not worry and to not stress this provider out. You know what I'm saying? This creator who gave you everything. It's like, sit back, chill. I got it, motherfucker. Have some faith. You know what I'm saying? Let me just do my thing. I got to take care of people over here too. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, you know, you hear about people getting frustrated with God or whatever. They're not answering their prayers. No, motherfucker. You're going to bed thinking about the wrong shit. You're not really praying. You don't have real faith. Okay? You know what I'm saying? You got to have real faith. So when I'm meditating, that's why it's easier to have faith in yourself, because you can touch this. I can put my fucking fingers in my mouth right now and hurt myself. I can feel myself. I know I'm real. I know I'm here. I know I'm standing on this fucking ground. I know I can hug a tree right now. Okay? I know I could contract the disease if it happened. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real person. So what better way to you know, go throughout life with having faith in something that's as real as yourself. And that's the whole point of the meditation. Going to bed at night or before you go to bed, thinking about the feeling that you have before you go to bed, what it is you want to be or what it is you want to do in life, and feeling how that feels. That's how you conjure up, and that's how you live a better life. And that's how these people who follow religion live. They feel better when they pray and something that they pray about comes into fruition. They're like, oh shit, Jesus is real. Can't nobody tell me shit because look what just happened to me. And you really can't tell them anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, who really are you? Unless you can explain it in a way that, you know, that they're ready for. If you can't explain it in a way that they're ready for, but see, that's the trick. You can never know until they start to talking to you about certain shit and they get interested, like, oh, what do you think about, you know, this whole meditation thing? And that's when you can be like, oh, well, what do you think about praying? You know what I'm saying? Well, I know when I pray, I get my butt. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Then that's when you start to bring in that conversation. You know, you can't just be like, oh, I was listening to Bro Sanchez the other day and he said this, and that. And, you know, you need to believe that shit. It's crazy because I believe it. No, people going to look at you like, nigga, calm the fuck. Even though you know for a fact what you looking up what you talk about has been researched and proven fact. Still, to that person, they didn't do that research themselves, so they can't. You know what I'm saying? Nor do they follow Bro Sanchez or have any. Nor does Bro Sanchez have any credibility in their minds. You know what I'm saying? Or any other teacher that you may go and follow. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, man, y'all love y'all family members, man. If they want to believe in whatever they want to believe in, let them do it. I love my father for who he is. He wants to believe in Jesus Christ. That works for him. Good. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him to ever stop. You know, when he's ready, then that's another story. You know what I'm saying? But all I want to say is, man, respect your family. Don't get mad. You know what I'm saying? And definitely don't get mad and frustrated at that fact, because you're just going to hurt yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're just doing more damage to yourself than they are doing to themselves by following the indoctrination. You understand? So
That's a fact.
So
because we don't know it all either.
Exactly. So I'm gonna go on.
And when we
what?
I know you finna burn. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, bro. No, this is our show. So go ahead.
Just gonna say, yeah, I was just gonna say, because we don't know it all. You know, when we try to convince them, they don't know it all, and we don't know it all. Right. So we might well leave that neutral.
Exactly, man. Spread the love, you know.
Spread it, because that's all it is. That's all we have at the end of the day.
Hell yeah. So yeah, y'all remember 60-second truth challenge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good.
Let's get it in. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this truth out there. Let's put that flat work down, man. That truth work down, that real truth. Spread that, man. Let's keep it going. Let's get these people amped up, ramped up, and ready to go, fired up and ready, man. We gotta get these people going. We gotta get these people. You know, you gotta get their brains fired up, man. Get their fingers typing. Get them.
Look, man. Google hired over 20,000 people.
All right, well,
and I know they putting bad in.
All right, well let's get at least 20,000 people to use Google and shut it down. You know what I'm saying? And get this truth out there. I gotta go, y'all. I'm way over my timestamp
I
that I
know.
originally had, but
Take your
I
time.
love y'all. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get back up on it. We're gonna start putting up I wanted to catch up with everybody, whatever, but we're gonna start doing some stuff, getting into some topics and sticking on hand and staying on hand. But yeah, man. Once again, thank you to the
Yeah.
panel, thank you
Yeah.
to the chat, yo. 60-second truth challenge. Make sure y'all put that out there. You know what I mean? Get that 60-second truth challenge out there. Nominate up to 5 people in the description. Get it out there, man. Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Let's do what we got to do for our people, you heard, and for our kids. Let's get this
The
future.
chat room. We love the chat room.
Oh hell yeah! Let's get our future right. Yeah.
Right.
I love y'all, man.
Reach one.
Peace, man. Peace, brother. Peace.
Peace. All right, y'all. So that was the bill, man. It was good bill tonight. I'm glad. Thank you everybody in the chat that came through. I'm about to get up out of here, man. Don't know when I'm gonna be doing another show, when I'm gonna be streaming, but will be streaming soon. We're gonna get the show together, build it up or whatever, and we're gonna get it popping, y'all. Subscribe. If you just seen this, you haven't subscribe, hit the bell, share. Like I said, we don't accept donations over here. So if you would like to support the channel, just share it and yeah, just get it out there. Let people know that this place exists. If you ever want to get up on a panel, subscribe, and hit the bell whenever you see us on. Go ahead, email me, and you can get up on the panel. It's just that simple. Holla at me, y'all. Holla at me. Yeah.